Ladies and germs, welcome to the Boxing Talks. Every day that passes that we don't get an official announcement of Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., I can't lie, I laugh a little bit because it's kind of like karma. A lot of the individuals that are now propping up that fight are the exact same individuals who said that the zone would fail and go bankrupt 4 years ago when they debuted in America. And these are the same individuals that said that the Zone and Matchroom, the Zone platform and Matchroom as a promotional outfit, would never be able to make a splash in America. They'd never be able to sign top American talent, so to speak. And they did. But better still, they have the biggest name in American boxing, so to speak, the biggest draw in this country on their side of the street. And remember, not but 3 weeks ago, these were the people that were saying that Crawford versus Spence is bigger than Canelo versus Golovkin 3. And now it's like, I was goody, Sum was goody, Larone was goody, Smokey, J, Avo. And yeah, the talk of the town right now is the Joshua versus Usyk fight. I want to do a fight week thing where I get different opinions from different people on what they think is going to happen in that fight. We already know how most of the panelists feel about it. How Country, Drew, Leo, the guys that's usually on, we know how they feel about it. I'm trying to see how some other folk feel about it, get some different takes to see just how people feeling. What do they think about the fight? Who are they pulling for versus who they actually think is going to win? Very big fight. Shaw was good. Old Dirty was good. The Zone didn't make enough of a splash that ESPN had to raise their price for subscriptions. I got a couple of metrics from different boxing markets around the world. Shout out to UK Rob. He sent me the metrics for how the Zone is doing compared to other sports streaming apps, and they appear to be doing very well. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. I wouldn't say it if it weren't true. They appear to be doing very well. They did very well in the month of July. They appear to be doing well in what is a competitive market. They're at minimum in the top 10 when it comes to different sporting apps around different territories around the world, and they're number one in a lot of places. And it just goes back to what I said before. They're like, a lot of these cats around here, I don't know, man. Like, there's no other word to use other than, a lot of these cats is fucking stupid, yo. Like, y'all cats is just fucking dumb as shit, dumb as fuck. Your parents failed you. How could you be a full-grown adult and be so fucking stupid? I don't understand, man. Shout out to Thomas. Yeah, and I want to shoot people the link, but like I said, I don't want to have 10 people up here tonight because a lot of times it's very hard to get a word in edgewise. I want to mitigate how many panelists we have for tonight's live to get some different takes on this upcoming weekend's fight, what happened with Adrian Broner, how do the fight fans feel when they hear that a fighter is saying that they have mental health issues? Do they feel that it's genuine? Do they feel that the issue is being misappropriated? Because a lot of times that happens. Two popular names in the sport, they had two very competitive fights. No. Yeah, I already did a video on that, George. I already did a video on that. Last week I did a video on that. That was part of what I talked about in the most recent upload that I did regarding that subject, that Adrian, I don't believe he has mental health. No. I'm going to say that I don't believe what is at work here is necessarily mental health, even if he has mental health problems, because something is wrong with him. I don't know what it is, but it could. The other thing is, yo, dog, if something really is wrong with you, a fucking doctor would have told you that. Enough of the bullshit. The same way if you got the gout, or if you got a boil or a cyst or a medical issue, the same way you go to a doctor for that, if you really got medical health issues, mental health issues, right? Mental shit, you go to a doctor for that too. And unless a doctor told you that you got like a diagnosis, right? I ain't just gonna believe it just because you said it. Nah, like, fuck out of here. The fuck I'm gonna just take you at your word for? You know what I mean? The same way if you got the flu or pneumonia, you go to the doctor. If you got a torn ligament, a torn muscle, a sprain or something, you go to a doctor. So if you saying that, oh, you got psychological shit going on, did you go to a psychologist? You got psychiatrical shit going on, did you go to a psychiatrist? Did you get a clinical diagnosis? You see what I mean? Like, motherfuckers misappropriate issues all the time. We see that here in the YTBC, how people misappropriate real issues in America for personal gain and personal profit in order to control the narrative and try to get people to fall in line with their own views. They misappropriate what are real issues in America for their own personal gain, so that a fighter or fighters could be misappropriating a real issue. No, I don't put it past them. The fuck? The fuck? Chris was good. Triple G did, yeah, I would say it's 1-1, man. But you know, some people that they're stuck in their ways. I do think Canelo Alvarez and Triple G are 1-1 with each other. You know, Triple G's been raising a stink about how it is that Canelo was able to achieve a lot of the things that he achieved. And, you know, he's talking about the Clenbo shit, obviously. He's basically saying that Canelo Alvarez's legacy is implicated because he tested positive for a banned substance. And while I do agree that he does have a point, you're the bozo that chose to fight him for a second time. So what does that say about you? Like, you can't simultaneously vilify him when you're the one who's on board, bro. If you really were a man of principle, you would have did what Marvin Hagler did after the Leonard fight. He didn't agree with the outcome, got the fuck up out of there. But you sold your soul for that second fight. And here we are. And now you about to get knocked out. I'm going to get some money from Eson, which is going to offset the cost of the pay-per-view, because Triple G going to lose that fight, bro. Simple as, all right? You know what I'm saying? Cut the bullshit. And yeah, you know, but just back to what I started out with, because that's been on my mind. That's been on my mind. Shout out to Jesse Quesada. Jay, get Mauricio on the show. Put him in the hot seat. What's his corruption ties with the PBC? First Thurman and now Wilder getting the WBC number. Bro, he won't answer. I'm like, you know, I really should do that. No bullshit. Because I don't have a problem asking that question. I can ask it in a way where it's not intrusive. It's a genuine question. Because what I would ask Mauricio, if I can get him on here, is, well, how does the WBC reconcile Deontay Wilder holding a number one spot, having not won a fight in 3 years? That's what I would ask him. How do you reconcile that? And if he was given the benefit of the doubt after the first loss to Tyson Fury, which, believe it or not, I can understand. I can understand that as a champion, he probably didn't lose a lot of ground after he lost the belt. But, okay, the third time, the third fight, yeah, he should have dropped. And y'all have him at number one, and he should have dropped. Dillian White dropped after he lost to Tyson Fury, and Wilder lost before Dillian White. But he's at number one, and Dillian White down there somewhere. So I would definitely, I mean, I'll try for it. You know what? I'll try for it. I'll try for it, because the beauty of that is, if I do it and I do it live, you guys, forget me, you guys can ask him those questions in the form of super chats that puts money in my pocket. You see what I mean? It works out for all of us. You get your question answered. You get your question asked. I get your money. He gets put in the hot seat. Bing, bang, boom. We all win. We all win. Shout out to Drew. Drew said, I remember getting on Ryan Garcia's helmet about his mental health excuse to advocate for therapy share. Who's his psychiatrist, since he shares everything else? Thank you, Drew, because I raised that point myself. Whenever you have a genuine medical issue, you seek medical attention. If you pull a muscle, if you have a boxer's fracture or a fighter's fracture, you know, maybe you hit a wall, you got excited, or you hit somebody in the face, but you punched them wrong, you get that hairline fracture in the knuckle, you go to a doctor. If it's a genuine medical issue, you seek genuine medical attention. So for all of these individuals like Tyson Fury, and this is going to sound familiar because I've asked it before. If Tyson Fury really had mental health issues, did he see a doctor? Was he put on prescription medication? What did he actually do? Who diagnosed him with a medical issue? Same with Ryan. Same with Adrian Broner. And that's just the question. I'm not saying they do or don't. I am saying I don't believe them. I'll say that. And I don't give a shit who don't like. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe most shit people say. Sorry. The fuck? I don't know you. Why am I gonna just believe you for? What I'm gonna believe Tyson Fury for? Looked to me like you was trying to get away from that UCAD situation and that Klitschko rematch. I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you. I don't give a shit. You think Triple G can survive for a UD loss? Not really. The thing about the Canelo versus Triple G fight for me is response time. That it's been 4 years since they last fought, so the gradual degradation of hand-eye coordination and motor reflexes and reflexes in general, can you get the hands high enough to protect your face fast enough to do that the way that you used to? Can you tuck those elbows in fast enough that he doesn't hit you to the body and he don't break one of your ribs? Remember that this is a weight where Canelo Alvarez has been particularly strong. And remember that he is looking to make a statement with this fight because he's likely feeling raw about the Bivol fight. So all the frustration and all the pent-up tension in reference to losing to Bivol, he gets to take that out on Triple G. Triple G was just in a very physically punishing fight with Ryota Murata. Like, don't kid yourself. He won the Murata fight, but he got fucking hit in that fight. And he's fucking 40, you know? You don't, like, I could tell you right now, you don't heal the same after 35. Everything is slower. The strokes are slower. You got to go slower so you don't ejaculate, bro. But real shit, yo, he an old man, bro. He an old man. Like, nah, bro. Shout out to Tony Boswell. Appreciate you, Tony. Much respect to Ring IQ in chat. Stopped in the chat to show support. Hit the like button. Appreciate you, Tony. Always welcome. And yeah, yo, like it's not anybody 35 and over. They can tell you. I can tell you, all right? I'm fucking really old and you feel that shit. Like, you don't, if you get a cold where you normally might have recuperated in a couple of days, takes fucking 2 weeks of some wild shit. You know what I mean? If you actually do pull a muscle, it's with you for a long time. Like if you sleep wrong or anything like that, anything where you know you have an ache or a pain after 35, nah, it don't go away the same way it did when you were 25. After 35, everything slows down. So you're talking about a 40-year-old fighter who earlier this year was in a physically taxing fight where he did take shots, he did get hit, and let's be honest, Ryota Murata's no Canelo Alvarez. I mean, you know, I think that goes without saying. So, yeah, I don't think he finishes that fight on his. I think what could happen, and I've said this before, I don't know that he gets sat on his back pocket or gets knocked smooth out. I'm not saying that, but I could see a situation where he's taking so many shots that the referee, that Canelo forces a referee stoppage. That is the kind of knockout that I see, that he starts getting hit so much with so much different shit that they stop the fight. People who go to therapy, and it works generally, share that loudly. I go to it 2 times a month. Kobe and top athletes and CEOs talk about its benefits. Yeah, I mean, some people need that shit, bro. Look, I'm gonna say this. Some of us are different. I honor the differences. I don't want to chastise anyone with what I'm about to say. Some people, they work through their issues in different ways. Some people take that energy and pour it into things, and they get a result out of that. Some people, they need to let that out, that toxicity and all that frustration. They need to be able to tell someone. Otherwise, it stays with them, and it affects their quality of life. So therapy has its benefits. Now, granted, I don't think everyone needs it, but it does have its benefits. That's reality. Being able to bare your soul to someone, to be able to tell them, well, this is what you're working through, yada, 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 without being castigated for it, because that's another reason that men don't often share the issues that they have, because they feel that they'll be judged for it and castigated for it. Nobody cries us a river when we're going through some shit. Nobody gives a shit about us. Girl, oh, her cat died. Everybody wants to form a fucking prayer circle. Guy going through some shit. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. So therapy is actually good. Charlemagne the God, he's a big advocate for a lot of people in the community to go seek therapy, because there is trauma. I mean, yeah, people got trauma. People got shit they're going through. You know what I mean? One of the biggest signs of depression is poor hygiene. Yeah, that's one of them. My theory is, yeah, I mean, exactly. Like everybody, everybody has their own way of dealing with stuff that bothers them. But therapy for some people is very beneficial. It's good for them. Therapy can help anyone and everyone. Not a cure for depression, but it definitely helps. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a big push for that. But like I said, everything is not for everyone. Some people experience the exact same hardship and handle it in different ways. For some, it makes them stronger. For others, it makes them weaker. So to each his own, honor the differences and shit. You know what I mean? And shit. Because, we're all humans, well, except for me, but you guys are human. Might need therapy. Some people was slandering Tank for what he tweeted. Yeah, because it's like he don't know how to read the room. The day that Adrian Broner pull out of a fight, you going to tweet, people need to stop faking that mental health shit. Then he tried to clean it up, saying, oh, I wasn't talking about AB. Well, it looked like what it looked like, bro. You don't tweet that shit any other day, but you tweeting it today. You didn't tweet that shit any other day. In my country, we never took depression and mental diseases seriously, though it could just be we all had it horribly. I believe, I'm going to say this. Mental health issues are real. It's a lot of people battling a lot of demons. The thing is that I believe this generation requires more coddling than the previous one, because people don't live purposeful lives anymore. So working through those issues and having the fortitude to work through those issues is not the same way that it was, because if you look at how people was living back then, their lives were more purposeful. Like, yo, you got to do certain shit just to eat. Whereas now people are focused on excess and luxuries and entertainment as opposed to actual survival. You know what I mean? So there's a gray area in there where I'm kind of like, yeah, stuff sucks, but you don't have the harshest conditions. I can't pretend that you do, just because I can't. There is someone right now dealing with more than you are, and it's not all up here. You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there, they don't have clean water. There are people that are attempting to raise children in war-torn countries, impoverished countries. So when I think about an American moping around and feeling sorry for themselves, forgive me if I say that I feel worse for the people in Haiti who don't have the luxury of sitting and moping around. They don't have that luxury. They got to make it happen however they can, because they live in a third world country. So I am a little bit, a lot of people not going to like that, but I'm just being that's when I think of it, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of Americans, they're down. They're feeling down and out. But there's people in parts of the world where they don't have time to feel down and out. They don't. They got to do what they got to do. So I don't know. Yeah, people don't get therapy. Could be for trauma, work, performance, marriage, mental fatigue, career development, not just out of depression. Very true. And sometimes it could be to balance yourself out, because the other thing is, like I said, we as men in a first world country, not that I think that this is a big problem, but it's an issue that has been raised, especially by that Jordan Peterson guy. I think he's been very eloquent in talking about that kind of stuff, that, motherfuckers don't give a shit about some men, bro. They don't give a shit about us. They're like, really? Ain't no pity party. We don't throw ourselves pity parties, or we're not allowed to. And we're not allowed to sit around feeling sorry for ourselves, because we will judge each other harshly, because we as men are problem solvers. So if you have a problem and you're not doing anything about it aside from sitting around and feeling sorry for yourself, a bunch of guys going to look at you like, man, you just on some bitch shit. Like, you don't want to do nothing. Girls will have a problem that they regularly tell other girls about, and it'll be the same problem week after week. Guys don't got the patience for that shit. If you told me last week, yo, and I was like, well, this is what you got to do. It's not so that I could be hearing about that shit next week, bro. Like, I don't have the patience for that shit. There's a scene in Rocky where he's bathing Butkus, the second Rocky, right? He talking to the dog, and it's a line. I love this line, because that's how I feel. I'm Butkus. Dogs don't want to hear about my problems. Motherfucking right. I don't want to hear about them shits. We all got them. Not that I'm not sympathetic. I'm just saying that that's kind of how men treat each other. We don't do the pity party. Like, oh, we love you, bro. I'm gonna hug you, bro. Give you a hug, bro. Nice hug, bro. People will use people use our feelings against us if, yeah, exactly. You need to learn how guys needs to listen. Yo, I love Kevin Samuels. God bless the dad. Because he was speaking real stuff that men need to hear and that women need to hear. It's like he became famous for clips of his videos where he was chastising women, but he also used to chastise men. That he used to chastise guys too. He kept the same energy for both. That don't call in talking some mediocre shit and expect to hear a fantasy. Like, nah, if you call in and you want some mediocre shit, whether you a guy or a girl, he was going to tell you. I remember the shit. It's like, hey, got a big dick? And dude said, well, I don't know. Like, motherfucker, Motherfucker. And motherfucker like, what the fuck, bro, gonna fuck with you for? She fuck with you, she don't even... Oh, that fucking scene, bro. I love Kevin Samuels, man. God bless the dead, bro. That dude, man, he was just giving you some straight up OG, old head knowledge to help improve your quality of life. And people really got mad at him for that, man. That shit, he was really just spitting facts. Like, yo, you thinking you gonna get this type of dude, the type of dude you want, he don't need you. And if he wanted you, you realize he can have 10 of you. So you need to make a situation where you really worth something. Because dude making 100,000, 150,000, whatever, that type of dude don't need you for what? What, because you got a box? Because you got some pussy? Oh, because you the only one with some pussy, right? Somewhere out there's a joint with 3 pussies. And they all smell different. One tastes like strawberries. Another one tastes like pork chops. Another one tastes like McDonald's. Like, the fuck? I don't be understanding how athletes be even marrying these types of joints. Like, yo, you could just shag them joints. Why you be marrying them? And like in other words, if you're not going for love, right? Because, some people don't. If you're not marrying for love and you an athlete and you got a lot of money, why you marrying these plastic ass broads, bro? You could literally do better than that. Get you an actress. Fucking dating some old fucking, like, man, like, what the fuck? Besides a pussy, what the fuck you got? Oh, because you suck dick? So what? It's a lot of bros that do that. What do you have? I got M's. What do you have? Kevin Samuels was more harsh on men than women. Facts. He was. Most people didn't realize that at the height of his popularity, that he was hard on the guys, man. If you call in and you just saying some bullshit, he wasn't having that shit. He wouldn't pull no punches on the guys. But I just be looking at these athletes, man, like, look, man, marry for love, bro. Otherwise, don't marry. Marry for love. And if you can't find her, just get a lot of pussy and a lot of blowjobs. You know what I mean? This is what life is all about. A lot of pussy, a lot of blowjobs. You ain't gotta marry these joints to get blowjobs. Like, man, listen, man, I crack a couple of jokes, I'm getting my dick sucked. Crazy? Fucking crazy out here. What's good, coach? You gotta go to sleep to have a nightmare. You didn't go to sleep. Now shut up and go to bed. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand shit like that, yo. You got a NFL contract. You got an NFL contract. You know you're gonna be making six figures. You know what I mean? Even if you don't get a ring, you ain't going to the Super Bowl, but you know you getting money. What you gonna marry some plastic joint for? For what? If you not marrying for love, right? That you met a girl, you think she's special, y'all sinking, everything is nice, you get, you feel the tingles and all the good things that you feel when you meet somebody that you like, not just how they look, but who they are. If you're not going for that, which is understandable because that is hard to find, but if you're not going for that, why you just going marry? Oh, because she look good? What are you, an idiot? You don't have a mom that told you like that schooled you like, man, don't let them get you? Yo, listen, I love my sisters and my mom and my grandma for that. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck you look like marrying some old... What, because she got a butt? Because she the only one with a butt? Only one with a box? Only one with a mouth? You can spit in the wind and hit that. And you got money, so they lined up. That shit don't make sense. If you not marrying for love, just get a lot of pussy and a lot of blowjobs. That's all. Fuck you look like. Like, I don't understand athletes, to be real with you. I don't understand athletes. Like I just like your brain power must be compromised for the athletic ability that God gave you, because you'd have to be an idiot to marry some of these women. Like, what are you, an idiot? Look, because she look good, she ain't even going to look that way forever. If you're not marrying for love, don't marry. That shit don't make no sense to me, yo. It really, literally, it makes no sense to, like, bro, you young, you're strong, you got money, you could travel the world getting different types of blowjobs. You're going to marry some old debutante for, and to cheat on her anyway. That's the other dumb shit, because they cheat on them broads. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to give you my last. If you're not going to marry for love, that's all I'm saying. I'm not even telling people don't get married. I'm saying those athletes that marry them joints, you know they ain't married for love. You married her because she look good and you ain't pull out. This shit is silly, bro. NFL means not for love. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That was fucking gold, bro. I'm like, I don't understand that. See, like, movie actor that marries actress. That makes sense. You on the same level. You're not compromising anything, feel me? But don't end up like Johnny Depp. Don't end up like him. But you know what I mean? That, like, same applies to a woman. You a lady, you getting money out here. You got to have someone that is on your level. On your level. That is purposeful. But the other thing is girls like fuck boys, though. And they don't want to admit that either. Girls like fuck boys. They prefer the fuck boys over the boring. Kevin Samuels said it better than I ever could. They like the fuck boys, bro. They let them fuck boys, and then when they get fucked, they get mad at the fuck boys and blame men. Hey, not every man is a fuck boy. You like fuck boys, and that's what you gravitate towards. That's why you end up by yourself, and that's how that shit happens. Why did Pat Mahomes? Yo, I don't know, bro. I literally do not know. I don't know. Therapy is a privilege of a first world developed nation where the majority of citizens don't have to produce their food and resources daily to survive. Amen to that. Which is why I say maybe I'm the wrong person to talk to about things like that, because I always think of those people that live in war-torn countries, like the people in Ukraine right now that are in that part of the world that's being bombarded by Russians. Well, they don't have the luxury of sitting around and moping, because that's a luxury. I'm not feeling good today. I just don't feel motivated. Motivation. Well, you just sit there not being motivated in the middle of the Ukraine and see if a bomb don't land on your fucking head. Not motivated. I'm not motivationed. I need my motivation so that I can motivate the zation. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck? Shit, like, I understand that people have problems that they have to work through. Sometimes they need help. I'm not trying to be fucked up to them. I'm just saying that there are parts of the world where you don't have the luxury to mope around. There are parts of the world in Africa. There are parts of the world, even some parts here in America, that are very impoverished, like and you just don't have time for that shit. So I'm a little, I don't feel like going to work today. I'm sad. Yeah, like, that's not even saying that there aren't traumatic experiences associated with just being an American, depending on what your walk of life is. There are. Thankfully for me, I blend in any environment you put me in, so I don't have that problem. You can put me in Russia, and I'll appear as a Russian. You can put me in Latin America, and I'll appear as a Latin American. You can put me in America, and I'll appear as an American. You can put me in Canada, I'll appear as a Canadian. Alien powers. It's real shit out here. And I'm going to open up the chat to the panel. And I'm going to mitigate how many people are on, because it's very difficult at times to get a word in when there are 10 people on the chat, on the panel. So probably only going to allow maybe 4 people to talk at a time. All right. You understand that? You understand? All right. You could put me anywhere on this planet and I'll blend in. It's part of my mission to study your planet so that we can eventually take it over. Nothing you can do. We're already here. Yeah, man. Got Joshua versus Usyk coming up. I vote in.
What's good?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say this before I add anybody else to the panel. See, look, we already have 10 people in the back. Literally, there's 10 people. So I'm going to just keep Ivo up here for a second. Ivo, I'm not unsympathetic towards people's mental health issues. But do you actually believe that Adrian Broner, that his mental health issues are the reason that he's not fighting Omar Fig Newton this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's one thing I've picked up from boxers in the last couple of years, and it's always, in my opinion, I always find this a little disingenuous, because it's always a mental issue at an opportune moment in time. Look at Ryan Garcia pulling out mental issue. And as you mentioned, Fury's in particular was really funny, because you got a mental issue after a rematch clause. Really? Okay. And in Adrian Broner's case, dude, if you gotta pull out for Omar, man, just fucking retire, dude.
Bro, I want to say this because you guys know I'm a very big supporter of the Lady Warriors, the Lady Boxers. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The money you waste on promoting Broner versus Figueroa, the money you wasted putting together Broner versus Giovanni Santiago, that could have went to 1 or 2 or 3 female fighters that would have made, that they would have relished that opportunity. See, Adrian Broner doesn't appreciate that a network cares enough to put him on TV when a lot of fans feel he doesn't even belong on TV anymore. Now, you got Zarina McCoys and Raquel Millers and Diana Estradas and Logan Hollers and Tiara Browns, that they would love that opportunity and they would appreciate it and they wouldn't squander it the way that he is squandering it. You have an unsigned Olympian in O'Shea Jones, and what Showtime rather do is waste money on Adrian Broner.
Hey, let's add on to that, man. Let's talk about the males. Remember when it's funny because we just had this conversation a couple of lives ago. Boots can't get a fight, but you wasting money on Broner to pull out.
Listen, talked to Rick Ramos the other day. Great guy. Shout out to Rick Ramos. Great guy. He's got a fighter from Chicago. Her name is Summer Lynn. Unbeaten fighter. Very fun to watch. Has not had the opportunity to fight on a major platform yet. And if Stephan Espinoza really were smart, because, I don't know what his relationship with Al is like, but I'm thinking if you get your annual budget from me, I don't answer to you. You answer to me. And if I want to decorate some of these cards the way I want to decorate them, the fuck you going to do? The fuck are you going to do? Are you going to leave? Who's going to give you a budget? Fox don't want to fuck with you. They're not spending no money on your shit, right? So you're going to do what I say. You're going to do what I tell you. And if I want, for example, if it's me, if I want Summer Lynn on the undercard of whatever, I'm putting on the fuck. Because I guarantee you, if you do this after a while with repetition and earnest effort and ingenue, you can sell it. Yes, you can sell it. Women are more versatile and more marketable than men. And they fight just as hard. The fights will tell you, the fights themselves will show you, they fight just as hard. They can put on a good fight. And it's more cost effective because Adrian Broner thinks that he's supposed to get 7 figures every time he goes out there. You can satisfy some of these young fighters that are coming through $25,000, $30,000. Doesn't cost you anywhere near as much, but you'll get a fight that when people watch it, when they're there, like, yo, that was actually pretty fucking good. It was a good fight, yeah. But those guys are morons.
I'm not gonna knock on. Look. If he does have a mental issue, if his mental Godspeed, hope recover, whatever. But it's very convenient for him. On a look, when we lived in Ukraine, from how I remember it, look, we all had our mental issues. We tended to keep it quiet. We never really brought it up. Like I said, when I cried because of our dog died, my dad called me a bitch. So
ouch.
Yeah. Well, my dad's a dick. We don't talk about him. But Broner, he is like a fucking parasite. He shows up, drains the money out. I mean, I'm not gonna feel bad for Showtime because if you're stupid enough to fucking make this fight happen, then you deserve to lose the money. It's like we talked about dumb people. If you're gonna be stupid, you might as well be broke.
Yep.
That's such a great saying. I love that saying. If you're gonna be stupid, you might as well be broke. What do you need with money? You're stupid.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I'm gonna go to Country, and like I said, I'm gonna mitigate this panel. Country, you know what's going on. Everybody, I'm gonna mitigate the panel for those that didn't catch it. I'm only gonna have 1 or 2 people on at a time because sometimes it's hard to talk while there's so many people on the panel. So, Country, you know what's going on with Broner. Because it's not like he doesn't exhibit mental health problems, but do you feel that that's why he pulled out of the fight, because of some mental health stuff?
Absolutely not. I think he's full of it. He's been mental all along for a long period of time. When he was saying, I beat that boy, and even if I lose, they're gonna come still come pay to see me. You could see on the look on his face, he was mental back then. But the thing is, he hasn't addressed it, and he's dicking around and trying to get Floyd money. He was talking about, the fact that he said, oh, well, if I could fight Floyd in an exhibition, I'll pull out of this fight in a heartbeat. What did he do? He pulled out because he probably thought he was going to get that. And, the mental health thing is just nice and convenient to use. Ryan Garcia used it. And so he's like, well, in his mind, he's like, I can use it too. But it's bull crap, man. He's just, he's sticking around. He doesn't deserve money, but it's on Showtime. If they're like you guys were saying, if you're dumb enough to put the money behind this guy, you ain't going to get nothing good out of him. He doesn't want to fight anymore, and he ain't got nobody really big to fight. So, nah, man.
That's the other thing. I'm glad you said that because, last year they did the Giovanni Santiago fight, right? And I said it then that you do a fight like this for what? Is it build up towards anything? because remember, you do a fight, you got to pay the fighters, you got to pay the production crew, you got to promote it. Everything costs. So you're spending money on a Broner fight for what? When you can take that same money, you get you 2-3 female fighters. Yep. And I'm not going to stop beating the drum on this, because I'm telling you it would work. And more importantly, there are fighters out there that need it, that they want to be there more than Broner does. To me, it's insane that, and I'm not big on Clarissa. You know that, right? But they were willing to let her go, right? You let an Olympian, a double gold medalist go so you can keep frittering money on this guy. That's insane.
Well, give it to the people who really will use the opportunity, because he's just going to squander it. Nothing good's going to come of it. I mean, even if he got that and he did the fight, what good is going to happen after that? Who's he going to fight?
Exactly. If he would have fought him, right? Let's say he fought Figueroa this weekend. He beats him the way that he beat Santiago in underwhelming fashion. What then?
Right.
What then?
He ain't got nothing, and that's the thing. They're putting the money in the wrong spot, man. I mean, give it to the up-and-coming fighters who really are going to do something.
Now, I'm going to go to Drew. One at a time on the panel. Drew, mental health, hentai pornography. What the hell?
In regards to the mental health excuse, Jules, what I notice about athletes, actors, famous people that talk about mental health, they usually bring it up after they've accomplished something, when they went through the rigors and the depths of failure, success, and they're reflective. When you look at them bring it up, it's reflecting on the journey it took. Like Naomi Osaka, she had already won fucking tournaments, and she's like, the pressure of sustaining greatness is getting to me. And all throughout the other facets. So that's why I know the excuse is bullshit. Because what has AB accomplished? There's only 2 reasons he used it, Jules. One, he didn't want to get fucked up by Omar Figueroa because he wasn't taking camp serious. And 2, Al Heyman was holding his purse again because of advancements.
All of that. Let me tell you something. All of that makes more, because timing is everything, and you know that. You did this a week out from the fight. That's not by accident. You did this it's either you can't make the contracted weight, or something with the purse, or you realize I've been dicking around this whole camp, and this guy's going to fuck around and beat me. And then if he beats me, it's over.
And then on top of that, Jules, everybody been clowning Broner like that could have been you and not Chris Eubank getting $3-4 million over there. You don't think Eddie would have paid him well to go over there?
And I'm so glad you said that, because
and then the other one too, Jules.
Hold on. What gets lost in the sauce? Do you honestly believe that he stood to make more money fighting Omar Figueroa than what he could have got fighting Conor Benn? Like, I know they would have paid him great money for Conor Benn. I know that. They would have paid him great. They gave a guy over $1 million just for Dillian White, for God's sake.
Oh, they would have gave him They would have gave him $3 million for Conor Benn. And to add that, Joe, someone brought up on Twitter, they posted Adrian's box rec from the time Rock Nation wanted to sign him to the end of that potential contract. And you go through it, and they're like, "This is not a $40 million career in this span."
He never was. Look, you know how I feel about AB. I always thought he's not what they say he is. You just them likening AB to Floyd is why they. Oh yeah, he's the next Floyd. I didn't think he was the next Floyd. You fucking idiots thought that shit. I didn't think that shit. I thought this dude is like a store brand Floyd. Fraud.
And one more point, Jules, before you go to the next person. And a crazy way, the only way I would buy a mental health excuse is if I looked back on my career and I'm like, damn, Al Heyman fucked me out of like $60 million listening to him and Espinosa. That might make me go a little fucking crazy though, too, Jules. Well, like in the Konaki household with his wife.
Do you believe that a part of the reason that he's become so mentally unstable, do you believe that has something to do with it?
I think he's coming to so he could be in a reflective state, Joe. The end of his career's in front of him. He can't deny that himself. They're taking inventory of, damn, how much money did I make? What was really out there? This is what they offered me. I could have got the DAZN bag in 2015 and had another 20 million on top of the fucking Rock Nation money that I could have had. Adrian Broner could have literally had, is it safe to say, Jules, $100 million in purse money if he didn't listen to Al Heyman and Espinoza?
Yeah, I mean, shit. He would have been set up
How
for
much
life.
how much did Top Rank offer him for Pacquiao? 5-6 million?
No, they
got
offered him, no, wait. He got offered 3 up front with a pay-per-view upside.
Which would have been like at least 6 million.
Yeah.
And he got 2.5.
No, because also remember when they offered him that, Pacquiao had not fought Jeff Horn yet. So it would have been like a fight that like, yeah, this shit gonna sell, because he didn't look old with Jeff Horn yet. He had beat Bradley in the 3rd fight, and then they offered him that, like, yo, they offered Broner the shit and Danny the shit, and they both didn't want it.
That would have been at least a 600,000, 700,000 pay-per-view by fight with Broner.
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
So and in that sense, Jules, I could buy the mental health and sense of my career's almost over. What do I got to fucking show for it?
Let me go to Jay. We'll go to Jay now. Jay, mental health, hentai pornography. Violet Myers. Shit.
Man, that's a whoo. Oh Lord Jesus, man. She's the answer to the question of there is a God.
There is.
Like honestly, just perfect all around. But anyway, how you doing, Jules? How you doing, Jules? You
fantastic.
Right?
Broner, this stuff. I mean, with me, it's a thing to where I didn't believe it. I keep the same energy for everybody. If you notice, I don't believe Broner. I didn't believe Ryan. I didn't believe Fury. I don't believe any of you, because timing is everything. Do you believe that Hentel Mouth is the real reason that Adrian Broner pulled out of this weekend's fight?
Julius, I'm going to give you a hot take. Not only do I not believe it, I'm going to go as far as saying that I think it was his intention to never even do this fight in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because it tells us, like, all his antics leading up to the fight, how, he didn't want to participate in the virtual press conference. Him putting his name out there for exhibitions.
That is such a good point. He didn't want to do that virtual press conference.
Walked away from that, just fucked that off. So that leads me to believe, like, no, he never wanted this fight, and he was never going to do it. I mean, I'll even go as far as saying that, like, he probably signed this fight or took it to probably put his name back out there for clout, without actually having to, forego the risk of getting in there with the Omar Figueroa. Because think about it. I mean, like, are you confident that he would have won this fight, really?
Honest to God, I'm not, because you know what the thing is, and we talked about this. This fight was like a who sucks more, because we know
the like who I mean, like what's I mean, a lot of people already alluded to this. Like, whoever the winner is, what does the winner do after that?
Yeah,
like, I mean, like what's going on? I mean, why is such a pointless fight? Just like Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez. Who's asking for that?
Exactly. Who wants to see that? Now, I guess what I'm gonna ask is, Showtime, they fritter money on this guy, and I mean, they have to reflect now that we got Broner a fight, we promoted it, and he kind of fucked us. Is this the end of Adrian Broner?
It could be. Honestly, if I was Showtime, I'd get rid of his ass after this. I just drop him. It's like, all right, bro, you screwed us on this. I mean, did he sign a contract for this fight? I'm assuming he did, right? So is there legal ramifications for him pulling out?
I mean, no, because of the Hentel Mouth.
Okay, well, in that case, I'd be like, bro, at this point, it's like everybody's saying, yeah, you got to provide some kind of proof.
Let's say this, Jay, that if Showtime felt like squeezing him, not saying that they will, but he's saying that I'm pulling out because of what is a medical issue. So, they could maybe say, well, if they wanted to squeeze him, we want to see medical documentation.
Yeah, absolutely. I would at this point, because this guy's a very erratic character. The dude's just a fucking weirdo, man. I mean, honestly, he makes me ashamed to be black. because I mean I won't go into it because anyway I can go deeper, but I'm sure you know what I'm alluding to with what he be doing. I mean, and why he makes it so hard for just black men to walk around in general.
There's a whole me and you can have a whole conversation on just
we
that.
talk about this for an hour, like it's I mean, but yeah,
the toxicity that he tries to propagate. There are people out there that look at how Adrian Broner behaves, and they tell themselves that speaks to some kind of a culture. No, he's just a fuck up. Do not perpetuate that on everyone because everyone's not like that.
Exactly. Just because I'm walking around in a hoodie, that doesn't mean I'm not going to rob you or assault you, man. You know what I mean?
It's that kind of thing, and that's like we could have a whole episode on that. Let me go to Leo. Leo, Violet Myers, Mia Khalifa. I know it's hard, but you have to make a decision.
I'm not comfortable with the answer, but I will have to say Mia Khalifa.
Now, this Adrian Broner thing, Leo. Do you believe he has mental health issues?
Of course. But that is not the reason why he withdrew from the fight.
Why do you think he withdrew from the fight?
I think he didn't like the situation. He didn't like the money. He didn't like the opponent. I think, like the other guys said before, I think he knows he has at the end of his career, and every fight. Look, there is something that maybe has not been said with those kind of guys, like the twitchy, the mentally unstable guys. I don't think those guys really want to go to a camp to perform on a fight. Being in a camp is stressful.
Yeah.
Your work is really stressful.
Yeah.
It's really taxing on your body. You have to have a certain level of mental strength to endure all of that. And for a guy like Adrian Broner, maybe he had it once upon a time, but I don't think he has it now. So I don't think a guy like Adrian Broner is gonna wake up, get out of the bed, for a fight like this willingly. So I think he felt pressure to take this fight, but at the end of the day, he said, "No, I want to withdraw. I want to make up any excuse, but I don't know why I don't want this fight." Maybe he's trying to. Maybe after this, he's gonna get kicked out from Showtime.
Maybe.
And he's gonna try to fight another TV network or another promotional company that made them the final payday of his career.
Leo, let me say this. Okay, so you believe that basically his mental health issues may be sapping his motivation, or he is self-sabotaging to get out of this fight. That's what you're saying, right? Do you believe that? Do you believe he's done at Showtime on the heels of this? Because remember, he was complaining about money. He said something about Al Heyman. He said something about Stefano Espinosa. He said they don't give a shit about him. You know what I mean? Remember all that shit?
Yeah.
So, is this the end?
Maybe it's the end for him in Showtime and the BBC, but I don't think he's gonna retire. And if he retires, it's gonna be briefly because he needs the money. I don't think Adrian Broner has the means to obtain more money besides boxing. I don't think.
I agree with that.
And I don't know about his finances, but for the way he talks, I don't think it's good. I don't think he's secure enough to say, okay, I'm going to retire. I'm going to enjoy my retirement with all the money I had. I don't see that kind of guy. And for the guys you were fighting, Santiago,
exactly.
This guy, you don't have the necessary minerals to compete against these other animals in your weight division. And if not that welterweight, not that super lightweight, you don't have
All right, hold on now. I want to go to Bean Dawn. All right, now let me, because I'm doing it one at a time for certain questions. Then I'll let everybody on simultaneously after a few. Bean Dawn, Mia Khalifa, Violet Myers. Make a decision, please. Come on, Bean Dawn. Do it for the team. Make a decision.
Right?
All right, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right, so
There's still that guy talking.
Mia Khalifa, Violet Myers. What's
Still
it gonna
talking?
be? Yeah. All right, I don't know what's going on with Bean Dawn. I'm gonna go to Julio. Mia Khalifa, Violet Myers. Make a decision.
That's a pick 'em fight. I'll probably lean towards Violet Myers because I am of the Latino persuasion, although I like my women a couple shades darker than that.
I will admit she's a lot fluffier, and I like that. I do like that. So now you got this Broner thing, the mental health stuff, and all of that stuff. When you see this, right? Because it is true that people have mental health issues, but do you feel like people are perhaps being a little bit too passive when it comes to that issue? That as long as someone says they were having a bad day or they felt down, everybody already gets the confetti out for the pity party?
Yeah, I think there's certainly an element to that. But in AB's case, I think it's been apparently clear that he has mental issues. I don't know about mental health issues, but I've been saying he should go to the cuckoo house for years. There was a recent interview he did, and I'm not going to say the name of the channel because no free promo on this channel, but he was on the interview and he was literally just acting like regular AB, saying dumb shit, telling his stories about in the world of boxing. But there's one thing that I noticed, and that he was fucking fat. So I think the first thing that came to everyone's mind is probably the truth. He's probably just not in shape. Probably didn't like the money either, and he pulled out.
Didn't like when I think about when I ponder on it and I try to what's really going on here, because he's just the same erratic individual that he always was to me, and if anything, it didn't stop other fights from happening in the past, and he was behaving the same way. So I don't know necessarily that I believe that, this is all some mental health crisis. No, this is you dicked around in camp and you didn't lose the weight and the money's not that much. It's not, because it's Omar Figueroa we're talking about. How much money is Showtime really going to pay this guy to fight Omar Figueroa of all people? So I don't think it's mental health. And if people think that's insensitive, oh fucking well. But no, I don't think it's that. It's too easy to say that shit. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, where? Okay, finally. Fuck, I don't know what was wrong. I got a lot to say on this real quick. I want to say my piece.
So let me ask you first. I gotta ask you, right? It's very important. A lot of people need to know. Do you know who Mia Khalifa is? Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, I know who Mia Khalifa is.
All right. Do you know who Violet Myers is?
Do what?
Violet Myers.
No.
Oh shit. All right, so let's just get to the boxing shit. All right, so do you think this is mental health, or do you think he's just fucking around?
So listen, with Adrian Broner, you don't fucking know. Like Adrian Broner, Ryan Garcia, like these guys, when I listen to them, I don't really believe it's like depression when I hear them talk. I think they're going through something. I understand that, but like depression is different. I think Tyson Fury has depression. When I hear him talk about it, that shit's real. Like he talks about his childhood, having depression, like never feeling accomplished, and he still currently has depression. That, and it's like he has fucking doctor notes, like he's been to therapy, like we know he has depression. Those other guys, who fucking knows, like it doesn't make sense to me, right? But like pulling out of a fight where you are the main draw, like so soon, and like just saying mental health without showing any receipts, I think that's wrong. That's not okay, right? But like, but there's a fine line. Because did you see Paddy Pimblett's speech on the UFC?
I did see that, and I want to say this. That's why. Hold on. That's why I feel it necessary to say, because what he said, it actually struck a chord with me, that a lot of the stuff that men go through, they go through it alone. They don't tell it.
It's real.
They don't have the luxury of being able to bear their soul without being castigated for it. They literally like we don't.
Exactly. No, it's real. Like they don't fucking like so for that it's very clear. So I think if they're gonna pull out for a fight and cite mental health issues, they have to at least explain it or show receipts, show something. Don't just be like, yeah, I was sad, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I don't know that Adrian Broner, when we talk about Adrian Broner, right, it seems like a lot of people feel that maybe there is something going on there. And I maybe I'm one of the more skeptical ones because I'm like, well, did he ever actually go see someone that diagnosed him with CTE or just something? Because unless he did, how do we know that he's not just an asshole?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. You don't know because we don't know him as a person. We're not in his head. You can never really tell that type of shit. But like, I mean, shit, if he's going through mental health, you just prove it. Talk about it. Say something. Don't just be like, I'm pulling out because of this. Explain it. Go into detail. You know what I mean?
He put a paragraph out there, right? And this is a sensitive subject, especially these days. So I read through it, and at the end of it, it didn't convince me. Not that he has to convince me. You see what I mean? That it's not like he has to prove it to me, you know? But if I'm addressing how Omar Figueroa felt about it, and Omar said a lot of the things that I was thinking and feeling, they're like, all right, bro, if something really going on, you just, you dicked around a lot of people's time because these events cost money to put together, camera crew, all that stuff, promotion. So if it's something really going on with you that you can't fight, where's the documentation that shows they're like, I got a problem and I'm seeking help?
This is what's the most important, right? So like you look at fighters like Patty Pimblett, you look at Danny Garcia, his last speech.
I believe Danny,
by the way, what we're talking about right now. But like, listen, what those guys did that was different from Adrian Broner and fucking Queen Ryan. They actually fought. They actually fought and won, and then used their platform to talk about it instead of just being like, I don't want to fight. I have mental health issues. I understand, but there are better ways to do it, and those two examples are the best way to do it, I think.
I'll say this about why I believe Danny. I believe that Danny was doubting himself, and I believe that Danny was suffering through some kind of that he was down. You see what I mean? Because when he won the fight, he broke down. That's why I believe he broke down after when he won the fight. It was like, it was almost like a weight was taken off his shoulders because he was trying to prove himself to himself or something like that's just how it felt like. Now that guy was going through some shit. Like he just looked like he was really going through some shit. And with AB, I don't get that vibe. I'm like, nah, dog, you just being the same dickhead that you always was.
Yeah, I need what I prefer is how Patty Pimblett and Danny Garcia do it. Like, if you are going through something, if you are actually struggling with mental health, like you gotta push through, do the fight, and then use your platform to spread that message. You know what I mean? That's the best way to do it.
Now I'm gonna go to Reyes because I'm only doing one panelist at a time. Let me go to Reyes. Reyes, Mia Khalifa, Violet Myers. Make a decision.
All right, so I've been watching you guys try to make this like a valid argument, but Mia Khalifa has been one of the most overrated porn stars for years, bro. I hate to be the one to break it, bro. That's true, bro. It's true. Everybody know. I don't know why people haven't noticed it yet, bro. I don't know what she does special. All the other ones
talk like that. Don't talk like that. You didn't see the one. You didn't see the one where she took the boyfriend home and the mom.
Yes, bro. That's overrated, bro. It's okay. It's okay, bro. When you really think about it, it's just okay.
Nah, dog.
And that's okay to say, bro. Yo, say it with me, right? Come on, say it with me.
I can't, bro. I can't.
Nah, you can though. You can. Let's both say it together, bro. That scene is like a solid B.
Nah, son.
Nah, it's a B, bro.
Nah, listen, remember? Do you remember in the scene she started making out with her mom?
Yes, bro. It was bro. I've seen it before, bro. Look, maybe it's because I've been watching too long, but it's like I seen it already, dog.
All right. Let's get to the boxing. This AB shit. It's like he could probably have something, because there is a lot of instability in his life, and that is true. But does instability or just being unreliable, does that automatically equate to mental health issues?
Nah, I mean, there's a lot of unstable guys in boxing right now, or even just in sports in general. Actually, you know what? I could say this right now. Look at the UFC. Even
Yeah.
their biggest stars are unstable. Like Jorge Masvidal punched somebody in the streets after he lost a fight to them. That's the most unstable shit I've heard of, like, of all time. You lost the fight in the octagon, and you were so distraught about it that the second someone dropped you the link to where he was, you sucker punched him. That's crazy.
That is some unstable shit.
But have you heard him moving like, well, AB just saying, you know what? My next fight on the last day, like the last week when it's gonna come up, I'm gonna pull out of that shit. Nah, you don't see that.
And to the point that was made earlier, he did look chubby in that Brian Custer interview. He did though.
Yeah, yo, like I like the second I saw Omar Figueroa say it was the way I was like, yeah, that makes way more sense because bro, you've been looking fat, even in your last fight, like with Giovanni Santiago. That fight, wait, where's this Figueroa fight supposed to happen?
This Figueroa shit was for this Saturday, bro.
No, I mean, well, wait.
Oh, welter.
Oh, okay. Because I remember he had the Giovanni Santiago fight at 140, so I guess his point still stands. But he had it at 140. Then they said, all right, bro, he too fat. We got to move up to welterweight. And he still struggled to make it to welterweight. So I'm like, damn, they gave you like 7 extra pounds and you still struggle to make it there? Like, you're not even trying to get these fights.
And then you think about, like, if you Showtime, you spending money out the budget to put together a show where Broner's the headliner, but where's it really going? The
idea I always thought of, bro, is that they're saving him up for someone else, but then I'm just like,
who?
I don't see him fighting someone else. And even if he is going to fight someone else or whatever, him, like after he cancels this or like after the Giovanni Santiago fight, after that, bro, you know what I would have done? You know who just beat up Giovanni Santiago and beat the crap out of him?
Who?
And he's coming up? Mr. Gary Antoine Russell, bro. I'm sending AB right there to die. Like, that's it.
Not because this is the problem with AB, that he won't take those fights. A lot of people.
Okay, then you could starve.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That I'm like, look, bro, you want to come out here, and what you want is 7 figures every time you get out there, and you don't want to fight shit. When Regis went over there, because Regis went over there for one fight, it was on the premise that they would set him up to fight AB.
I actually use Regis like all the time when I'm thinking about people saying, oh, cross the street or whatever. I use Regis as the example. I'm like, yo, Regis crossed the street for AB, a useless person that nobody needs at all. And guess what? He couldn't even get that shit.
Couldn't get the fight. And
Mario either, but
and it's not like, I like Regis as a fighter, but being honest, you can't fault him for that situation because he has tried different avenues to get fights. First, he went to the PBC. That shit wasn't working out. He got the fuck out of there. Took a keep busy fight on Triller with Ivan Redcatch. Then he jumped in a bed with Pro Bellum. And it's like, nah, that dude is moving. That's what I see, that the dude, he moving. He trying to do something. He ain't sitting in one spot in the same old shit complaining. He moving. Whereas with AB, fam, not but 2-3 weeks ago, you was crying broke. Literally. Stephan Espinoza this, Al Heyman that. They get you a fight and you fuck it off. So it's like, what the fuck? Like if you don't want to do what is needed of you, right? Because the truth is, the tickets wasn't selling to that shit. The tickets to that shit was like, bro, nobody get hyped to see AB, bro. Like, nobody. They know what the fight gonna look like. Ain't nobody hyped to see that shit. All you gonna do is say some dumb shit that people gonna laugh at 2 weeks before the fight, and then it's gonna be this depressing ass shit. Oh, AB, he used to be talented, yo. If he focus up, man.
Yeah, I hear that every 5 seconds. Like, you know what I heard after he like had that awful fight against Giovanni Santiago? they were saying, oh yeah, but when AB really focuses, like when you saw it in that fight, when he was focused, he dropped Santiago, and honestly, he could beat the shit out of Prograis. And I was like, yo, what? Wait, how we get here?
What?
I saw that, bro, and I was like, I even like comment on how crazy that was. I was like, damn, AB still got fans out here. That's
he
crazy.
really do though. Like if you look hard enough, you'll find focused Broner guys right now. If he focus, like bro, listen, right?
Yo, he like a mythical fighter, bro. Like
my God, they act like it's really a Greek tragedy. Like it's not a Greek tragedy. There's a lot of fighters that fucked off their careers. He's one of them. It's not that big a deal. It's that you thought, and this is where I'm different than a lot of them guys. You thought that he was gonna be Floyd, and I never thought that shit. I'm like, yo, this
wait, yo, there's something I like saw a video one time. There was this dude talking about his YouTube career. He was talking about how he was piped up a ton, and then and he was supposed to be the biggest guy. He's supposed to be bigger than Mr. Beast and shit. And then he said he like because of that and all of that, praise and shit, he eventually just got lazy. And he just said, yeah, he fucked off like what 2 or 3 years, only making 6 videos. And then he started and he said after that he complained and he was bitter. He didn't want to do shit. And then he just got up off of his ass one day and went back to grinding. AB is that, except I don't see him grinding. And it's just like all the amount of praise, like every single person saying, yo, you the next Floyd, bro. You Floyd with power. I heard that shit and I was dying, bro, from them old comments. But
Floyd with power, bro.
Yeah, like you Floyd with some pop or whatever. You're the next Floyd Mayweather. You're gonna be the next pound for pound star. There's an Office Honcho video where they're saying, at what point do we put Adrian Broner at the pound for pound #1 slot or something?
What?
Thank you, bro. It was either pound for pound or like pound for pound #3, up there with Ward and Floyd. And I'm like, God damn, bro.
I acknowledge that Broner is or was a 4-division champion, right? Because he was. And there was a time when, he in that conversation that if he was pound for pound, you talking about maybe #8, right? Like number 9.
They weren't talking that though.
but he was not no top, never, ever. You crazy?
And it was crazy too, because I'm like, bro, y'all saying this like he didn't just get a very dodgy decision against Paulie last week.
Exactly, because everybody that's seen, if we being objective, Paulie did a little bit too goddamn good in that fight. And if you pound for pound, that's not supposed to be going on. If you pound for pound, like if you top 5, top 3, nah, son. Now I'm gonna go to Frank. Go to Frank because I know Frank is a big Broner fan. Frank,
it's AB time.
It's AB time. You're about beatings. I don't know, man. Like, what you think about this dude, man?
Well, the first thing, like you said, guys over 35. I told you, I'm 36, but I learned at an early age not to hero worship. These athletes and actors are nothing. They're okay to look up to, but we shouldn't worship them. And so when I'm hearing this, I think it's a case of entitlement. These athletes, these superstars, they've been entitled since they were a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And so they develop a complex. So I think we have to take it serious because, there was guys like Valero and Gotti, that committed suicide. So I think we have to take it serious.
Bro, come on, Gaddy didn't commit suicide, bro.
Well, he hung himself. There was that.
Bro, she killed him.
Okay, I know, Ring. It's very sketchy, but just what the reports are.
She's Brazilian, bro.
Well, that's controversy. Well, I mentioned Valero. What happened to Valero? And
you're right about Valero. Look. Let's say this. Let's just say this, right? There's a verse in the Bible. Not everybody that calls my name is of me, right? Well, not everybody screaming mental health actually has mental health problems. Sorry to say.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, at first we have to take it seriously just because we don't know the repercussions if we just dismiss somebody. But in the case of where I draw the line if it's criminal or not. So like Tio, he's delusional. Okay, but it's just been boxing related. He hasn't gone off and sexually assaulted somebody or something like that. So once it starts getting criminal, that's where I draw the line and say, like, remember where did this? I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but remember Martin went crazy.
Yeah, he did. He ran down the street,
Yeah.
had guns and shit like that. Said they trying to get me.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys reach these heights. Remember Dave Chappelle? That was the whole Dave Chappelle, but he came back and said I wasn't crazy, and he was talking.
I never thought Dave was crazy. I thought they was trying to make him out to be crazy to blackball him. Is what I thought. That's how I took that. That they was mad that he didn't want to play ball with them and he didn't take their money, so they tried to destroy his image. And he did the smart thing, like, no, I'm gonna fucking go in the Bat Cave. I'm gonna go on a hiatus. I'm gonna go on a holiday, and I'm gonna come back stronger and more swole and shag more Asian joints, because Dave like Asian joints. And that's what he did.
And he came back bigger and better, so it was obviously a smart move. But but I'm just trying to distinguish between what to take seriously and what not. But with Broner, it just seems like an athlete who was entitled. And these guys, when they become entitled, they get this sense of power that they can do anything they want.
I agree with that, because I feel that for him, he really looks up to Floyd. You know what I mean? Like not even in a way where it's like you can admire someone's accomplishments and say, wow, that's a great person. Like, he look up to him like he was amongst the gods, because he was being compared to Floyd at the height of Floyd's popularity. So the fall from grace for him is tenfold, because you're like, damn, I came so close, son, and now I just ain't shit.
Yeah, he's reaching that point in an athlete's life where they realize their career is over. But also, I see a play for Broner, and I don't know if this is going to go anywhere, but we're seeing, what happened in the NFL with all the legal issues, and if Broner could kind of be hedging his bets with, maybe later on claiming, boxing damaged me. That's also something I was thinking.
But Broner, look, this is the funny shit, right? And this is how I know that a lot of these guys are just very stupid, like really stupid. If I'm Adrian Broner, look, fuck Showtime, fuck Al Heyman, because what I'm going to do is celebrity boxing matches against other rappers. That's what I'm going to do. Peter Guns, you want to box, right? You want to box, right? Peter Guns is a boxer. I'm Adrian Broner, motherfucker. 4-division champion. Let's get it. And then I do this long enough that Showtime want to pick up my shit. I could do Jake Paul shit better than Jake Paul because I actually am a boxer. You're not going to come in here and play with me. You know what I mean? You get Peter Guns. You get Cassidy. Fucking get Beanie Siegel. Get a lot of guys. Oh, you fight? You think you can fight? Let's do this exhibition shit, y'all. Calling you out, y'all. 50 Cent. You big, you swallow, you be in the gym. Let's slap box for money. Why not?
I agree.
Doing that.
Yeah, I agree. Just with the last thing on this is that, this is going to become more normalized. This is going to become more of a thing as we, progress. But the only thing I would say to fighters who use this excuse, or anybody, athlete, or just anybody in general, is that if you cry wolf long enough, nobody's going to believe you. But also, if he does start exhibiting actual mental health issues with his money and everything he has, people are going to go after you. And that, maybe in 10 years, someone takes all his money. I mean, it happens a lot in boxing.
Well, yeah, but also, I think some of his money issues, right? He could be under a lot of stress because he has a lot of children, a lot of baby mamas, which is a lot of personalities, a lot of problems. Could be stress. Like, he could very much be under a lot of stress. I don't doubt that. But even that, being under stress does not necessarily equate to a mental health issue. And that's what he's saying. And I'm like, I don't really believe that cat, to be real with you. He just remind me of a lot of fuck ups that I knew when I was like, yo, fam, it's not mental health. You just a dickhead. And now you have to grow up. That's the problem you got, that now you have to grow up.
I agree. I just want to take it seriously just so we don't have an actual, something tragic happens to him. And it would look kind of, we were being, what's the word?
You right.
Because this would come back to bite us. So it's like, I'm going to take you seriously, but I just think it's a sense of athlete entitlement. These guys are privileged. We talk about privilege. these guys have grown up and people kissing their ass and they live that superstardom life, and when it starts to dissolve, then they have all these issues.
I do agree with that. Let me go to Virtuoso.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Virtuoso, you got to make a decision, bro.
Violet Myers.
Just explain why. And I respect your decision because, my God, that woman is fluffy.
Fluffy in all the right places. Curvaceous.
She a little bit ugly too, which I like.
I don't care about that. Put a bag over her head.
No, because you know what
Draw
it is.
an anime figure on it.
I'm telling you, it's because she's a little bit ugly that makes her more attractive. Because it's like a pretty ass, like you too pretty, yo. Like I like an ugly fuck face. I don't like a pretty fuck face. I like an ugly fuck face. That's so Broner. Mental health, mental mouth, and all the shit. And just what do you make of that shit?
AB is about problems, and he got a lot of problems that mount up. Now, could it be a result in a lot of stress? Yeah, but when you talk about mental health, that's like a whole other level of stress that you cannot deal with. It could be really random, and it could result in violent behavior. Now, Broner can be, he can be like unpredictable, but when I look at his boxing career, right, he has checked out since, to me, because if you ask him this personally, I think he has mentally checked out of boxing since 2017.
Yeah, I agree.
That's when he fight Mikey Garcia.
I agree.
That's when he was doing like he was warming up to the crowd doing stand up. I'm thinking, you know what, he could parlay this to a stand up career. He's actually funny, when he's on the mic. But when you fast forward to today, right, and like all the payouts are getting smaller and smaller.
Yep.
And he's less committed, and he's getting older, and he has to get off a training camp, and he doesn't have the energy for it. You're gonna wind up looking fat. And when I saw him against in that Zoom conference call, he looked so disinterested, man. Like he didn't want no part of fucking Figueroa, want no part of the festivity, well, whatever festivities. It was barely that, because they barely promote this shit. Everything is on Zoom nowadays,
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Michaela versus Alicia Baumgartner. Shit, man, to put this shit on the road. Anyway, he just doesn't want to fight this guy. He's not interested anymore. He's not interested in boxing. Some people need to bust nuts and fucking Violet Myers. Some people need to smoke some weed.
Yeah.
Some people need to talk to somebody they know. And then some people just need to fucking go away from boxing. And that's what AB needs to do.
I agree with that. I think that he's done all that he is going to do, and staying any longer is why things are so toxic. But given the lifestyle, and he got, I don't know how many baby mothers he got, bro, but like he got a lot of kids, and it's like, yo, and even with that, it's like, okay, you stress because you got a lot of kids, a lot of BMs, right? Bang. Why you got a lot of kids though? Because you ain't want to pull out, you dickhead. I mean, being real, like at some point, it's on you what you doing. Your situation is on you because you got like 8 kids, bro. That don't happen on its own.
Let me just say this, man. I had this crazy theory in my head, but it's kind of like a joke. I think Ron Boy Fish is AB, but it's just AB with better life decisions.
Oh wow! Don't yo.
He sounds like him, man. He talks trash.
Yo, wait a minute. You trying to tell me that he AB from another multiverse?
Yes, I think he is, bro.
Shit. Oh shit. Yo, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn that into a sound.
I appreciate that, man. But like, yo, man, that's all I got. I can't realistically. I'm not in a circle, so I don't know what the fuck he's going through, man. But I just don't want him boxing anymore. If he doesn't love it anymore, just fuck off. Sorry.
Yeah, I honestly feel that his career, like you said it better than I could. It ended in 2017 after he lost the decision to Mikey. That's when it ended. Like, because it's been shit ever since. What
Yeah.
the fuck has he been doing ever since? It's been shit ever since.
Yeah, man. And then like I just keep thinking about that Maidana fight. It's like when you look back at it, it's not people like to think of that fight as the fight where he got his comeuppance, yeah, but like as you saw in the later rounds, he was trying to come back because he was trying to salvage the marquee value that he was losing as the rounds kept going on.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, it's like, bro, you could have fought with Floyd, but you was too buddy with him, and like you're not even in his promotion. You're a Golden Boy fighter.
He raised a valid point, but he has gotten it to the point. It's like if he would have disappeared, right? Let's say he would have disappeared and he don't just keep catching these L's, right? He could have came back in an exhibition match with Floyd that would have got money. Like, if you think about it, Floyd was in fucking Abu Dhabi with Don Moore. Who is that?
We don't know who he is, man.
Who is
And
that?
we could have got it Floyd Mayweather versus Fraud Mayweather, and and that would have sold some tickets, and that would pay-per-views.
I honestly think, yeah, if it would have been AB, Floyd Mayweather on Showtime, exhibition match, right? But they really gonna go at it because AB ain't no threat to Floyd. Like, bro, you not no threat to Floyd, bro. You gonna try to do what Floyd do, but he do it better than you do. So that would have been a real treat. That like they gonna have a for real sparring session. It won't affect their records, but they're gonna have a for real doghouse sparring session on pay-per-view. They could have got money with that, bro.
Yeah, man, they could have put this shit, bro. They could have put this shit on YouTube, doing it live from fucking Mayweather gym.
Shit don't make no sense, bro. It makes no sense. Now I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna open up the chat to the panel. I'm gonna let everybody on, and because I think we done with this AB shit, bro. It really ain't nothing else to say.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on to very feel.
So we got AJ versus Usyk coming up. Very exciting fight.
One last thing on the AB, but not about AB, Jules. You brought up Danny Garcia, and although we give Danny Garcia shit for not wanting to pass the torch, I gave him the benefit of the doubt of his shit because Danny Garcia don't bullshit with that kind of stuff. He don't ask for sympathy or nothing like that. So
he don't really say a lot. So that's why I believed him when he said that, like, when he broke down, like, nah, I thought that's real, bro. He really breaking down because he's been in a bad place psychologically. He's been in his head. Why else would he break down like that after winning?
And like I said, it happened. Like I said, Jules, it happened after the win, after he did what he had to do.
Yeah, I mean, so he really was going through some shit. But all I see in Broner, honest to God, is a fuck up who is now realizing I'm a fuck up, and I don't have nowhere to go because I'm not young anymore. That's all I see. They're like, yo, you realize now that you've been dicking around all this time. That the world was your oyster. You had opportunities, the likes of which most young boxers do not have, and you squandered all of them.
Cautionary tale for it's a cautionary tale for Davis.
Yeah,
Yo,
because
Rock Nation offered him 40 M's.
Would have been a waste of money.
He was
They wasted their money.
But they wouldn't have known that.
Yep.
He was
They
too
was
busy
paying
acting
for him.
like he was too busy acting like a clown and an idiot all the time. That's what he put the majority of his effort into.
Country, he told Jay-Z to suck his dick.
How disrespectful. How you gonna say that to a hip hop legend, bro?
Not fuck a hip hop legend. He offers you 40 M's and suck. He offering you 40 M's though, bro. That you don't. All right, reap what you sow.
That's next level stupidity, man.
Yeah, you deserve this shit.
Can I add something? One more thing.
Good.
So, astute boxing fans remember that this fight was supposed to happen in 2018, and Figueroa got pulled over with the DUI. And I remember Broner didn't have any sympathy for him. I remember he said, and I quote, "I'm gonna beat your drunk ass up and buy you a shot afterwards."
Who'd he say that to?
Broner.
Omar.
He said
Omar.
He said,
"Oh shit! Oh damn!
What goes around
comes around."
Some people are in their own little worlds, and sometimes you're best off if you just leave them there.
Yeah.
Jules, can I sing a song right quick?
Good.
We all need a Violet that we understand. She too fine.
You know what I'm gonna do?
We all
I gotta
need
bring
a
this
Myers
up
to
though.
come in.
Jules, on your pound for pound list of 90s adult starlets, where does Kobe Ty rank?
I'm not familiar with Kobe Ty.
You look familiar once you Google her. Trust me.
I will do that.
Sí, tú sabes lo que es, porque ella es media fea, me encanta, porque es fea. A mí no me gusta que cuando la cara es demasiado linda, fucking pageant queen, deja la vaina.
And one more
Es
question.
media fea, como que tenga algo malo, que la nariz un poquito muy grande, algo.
It's not just that, but they have a lot more to prove.
I have to
I
ask
think they
you.
get a little
Que tenga
freakier.
algo feo, que, ay, Dios mío, que cuando tú se lo metes y ella se cae, ay,
They get
Is
freakier.
that so? Is
She looks like a
real quick,
regular
bro, let me
woman.
get this in. Is the Ring IQ pound for pound adult starlet list more scrutinized than the boxer list? No, I'm serious. What are the qualifications?
we going way left with this. We going way left. We going way left.
Field, man.
Yo, change this to porn talks.
That could be one.
Y'all act like Jules is not a fucking scholar in that area too, though.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I want to say this. We have to stop. We have to recognize that to the number one spot, there's only one. And for me, it's such a great.
Oh God!
Look at the level. Look at the level of the situation.
Great pick, Leo. Great
See
pick,
what you
Leo.
started, Drew.
Yes.
The level of
Drew, see
such
what
a
you
great-
started.
Leo,
And you know, because we
A
barely.
plus
listen,
Yo,
petite woman.
listen to me.
We
Look
go ahead, Leo.
great.
Diablo. Leo, no, tú, espérese un momento. ¿A dónde tú viste esta mujer, Dios mío, coño?
Dude, such a great is a lightweight.
Ay, Dios mío.
Such a great is a lightweight. And when to fuck
That's her.
like
That's her.
heavyweights.
El diablo.
Oh,
coño.
now
my.
number one.
El diablo. Ok, deja la vaina.
on.
Ok, gente, deja la vaina. Boxeo.
Okay, boxer.
Ok, boxeo. Ok, shit.
Oi.
I'm sure you'll find a parody somewhere related.
Just
to
take a
boxing.
breath. Take a breath. Take a
Let the
breath.
blood
Jules.
go
Sip
back
some
now.
coffee real quick.
Very few.
Yeah, man, she looks hella good.
So you got Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. How you guys feeling?
I'm very few.
I'm
Very
very
feel?
sealed.
Literally,
This is
very
good.
Fight of the year.
This is a
It's so
mysterious
fast,
match
though.
in a way because I mean, there's a couple different outcomes. To me, the fact that Usyk is bulking up is kind of weird. I feel like the bulking up is going to slow him down a bit, as opposed to just making him as fast as he was when he didn't have it. So that affects the outcome of the fight. I don't know if Joshua has changed enough or not. That's still a question mark. So now that's what makes this fight more intriguing, is because we got more of a mystery now than we did before. I mean, yeah, everybody's going to say, okay, Usyk is going to win, but we don't know that because a lot of stuff has changed on one side and another.
I'm glad you said that, Country, because it is true that going into the first fight, we knew what we were dealing with. We knew what Usyk may do. We knew what Anthony Joshua may do. Right now, I really do feel like nice. We really don't, because if Joshua goes for the knockout instead of doing what he did before, and if Usyk is there looking for a knockout as opposed to what he did before, it's a different fight, even though it's the same two guys.
It's a wait.
Can I
and
add
see.
something?
It's a
Go
wait
ahead.
and see, man.
So Jules, what you just said is very interesting because I spent my lunch break today watching the interviews. Joshua is saying he's going to knock him out in 6 rounds, and according like what Alex Krosik said, who's like Usyk's manager, he all but said that like Usyk is prepared to box for 12 rounds, but if it turns into a shootout, he's ready for a shootout. In which case, I'm going with the dude with the bigger burner. Pause, and that'll be Joshua.
Let's say this, bro. I notice in boxing, a lot of people stay stuck on what they saw the last time. And I've been watching boxing long enough that I know that it happens. You know, like Teofimo, when he lost, it's over. There are people writing him off. It's over. When Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz, no, it's over. It's over. No, it's not always over. It's not always over. I saw them do it to Lennox Lewis. I often bring it up that when Lewis lost to McCall, motherfuckers was talking shit. And when he lost to Rockman, motherfuckers was talking shit. And they didn't figure that when he come back, moot moot. And
Look what happened. Look what Marquez did. Look, Marquez got how many times Marquez get knocked down? Flattened.
Yeah, I mean,
Ollie lost 5 times. I mean, shit, people lose it. Like
that's and it's like, you know, they get so, I feel like they get stuck in that moment and they just stay in that moment and they start to feel like Usyk can't lose. And listen, I know that Usyk is great because he's a Capricorn. Like so I already know, like, yeah, this is bad dude. But it's like, nah, fam, don't get it twisted. He could get knocked out. I can see how he gets knocked out. It's just I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I can see how it could happen.
I want to say something.
All right.
Everybody's making salient points. That's a word that's used on the award-winning channel of Ring IQ all the time. We know that it's going to be a different fight. But the facts that we do know is we've seen how AJ reacts to when he's getting hit flush now. He loses all sense.
Drew, stop it. There's a Mexican in the corner.
There's a Mexican in the corner. Listen, there's a Mexican.
Only had for a couple of months.
There's a Mexican in the corner.
9, a newborn baby.
Let me land this plane. There's a Mexican in the corner that doesn't have plans A through Z to adjust in his fights and big fights. That's one.
You don't need a plan B when plan A is working, bro.
And we know how.
I hope to God you're joking, Jules.
That's why.
Let me say this: nobody is invincible.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me land the plane.
Nobody's invincible.
We don't know that the beauty of this fight. It's huge. I'm excited already. Fucking my dick's hard already.
Oh,
we don't know.
Too much information, bro.
Hey. Shut up. We don't know what's gonna happen. That's the fucking beauty of this shit. And the stuff that hangs in the direction of the sport hangs in the balance. The direction of the heavyweight division hangs. There's so much more riding on this fight for the division and the health of the sport that. Do I want to see AJ win? I want to see him go past expectations. I want to see Usyk win. But we're in for a hell of a treat, fellas. We haven't had a heavyweight rivalry like this where it's so much on the line. And how long, Jules? 15 years? 20 years?
That's what I mean, that this fight, you know, maybe there are Americans that don't feel it because they're just xenophobic. But for me, this fight has the big fight feel. Like, this has the big fight feel. Like, yo, I don't know what's going to happen, bro. I need to see because I don't know. You know, a lot of times we watch a fight that is a big fight, but we know, you know, like Canelo versus Plant was a big fight. 800,000 pay-per-views sold, right? But we knew, like, we all, like, bro, Caleb Plant's going to get knocked the fuck out.
It was a big fight because it was for Undisputed, and it was Canelo.
Exactly. Now, hold on. Now, I'm going to need one of y'all to step out for a second so I can put something up, okay? I just need one of y'all to step out.
I'm leaving.
I'll bring you back.
Oh, no, he left.
All right, but I'm gonna bring you back, Leo. I just wanna have this up so we could just woosah. All right, but like I said, there are many times that there are fights that are billed as big fights, and we know the outcome. There's not an errant mystery associated with them. Whereas with this fight, it's not obvious what's going to happen at all. It's not obvious. I don't know if AJ gonna knock this dude out. I don't know if all right, there we go. Right, so all right, now come back, Leo.
Nasty ass niggas.
I don't like my Johns a little ugly, but that's just me.
No.
Hey, don't you talk like that.
Mira, déjame decirte algo, manín. Que sea media fea es más mejor que una comparona gastando tiempo en maquillaje y esa vaina. Que sea media.
Why her jawline better than mine, bro? What the fuck?
Just mira, coño. Que sea media, un poquito feo, un poquito, no un poquito, que lo que. Que lo
poquito my ass. That's a tumba.
Ring. Oh. And I've come around to Julius. I've come around to your point in a sense that I don't fucking.
Oh God,
I'm gonna be sad if Usyk lose because that's my favorite fighter right now. But I don't want that WBC strap to go to the fucking PBC. So I need AJ to win because then Fury will fight him. And then
can I say this?
Go ahead.
I'm fucked either way because see, I think Usyk can beat Fury. I have more faith in Usyk to beat Fury than I have in AJ to beat Fury. But if Usyk wins, will Fury fight him?
No.
No.
Most likely not.
You see what I mean? That it's a shit show to where AJ has to win for us to be confident that there will be undisputed. But if he doesn't win, Usyk keeps the belts. We don't know if Fury's going to fight him. Because the last thing, the other angle of it is, look, we have to be honest with each other and ourselves. For AJ, Fury is complicated. For Usyk, Fury is not complicated. You're complicated to big, slow guys. That's who you're complicated. I'm not big or slow. You're not going to out-athleticism me. You can out-athleticism them because they're big and they're kluggy and they get tired. So you like Pernell Whitaker to them, but you ain't Pernell Whitaker to me.
And remember, Fury said he has difficulties with little guys.
Yeah.
And I just have to harp on that, like you said, Jules. The fallout from this fight is huge in terms of the direction of the division the next 2 to 5 years of how this division moves.
I agree.
The fate of the division.
Can I ask a question?
Let me address one thing that I saw that I don't like. Not underage. That is a porn star. What are you talking about, fam?
Jules,
shit like that.
Jules, I know you got an encyclopedia, so what do you?
Go
on
ahead,
the
Leo.
history of
You were JoJo Diaz.
Fucking guys.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here with that shit.
What were you going to say, Leo?
About Robert Garcia. How do you feel about Robert Garcia? Because I understand, in principle, it's like the right trainer for this fight if you are planning to go aggressive. But I have the feel that Robert Garcia is really accustomed to have fighters that have a chin and and recuperative powers.
That's true.
They can, even if they get knocked down, they can stand.
They can deal.
Fighting. They can deal with the damage for 12 rounds.
When I think about Robert's role, right? I think of this. The most that I see Robert contributing to the plan and the camp is the right punches. That's what I think he's bringing, right? Because what AJ said earlier today was Angel needs someone that he can work with to devise the plan. So what difference do I think Robert will make in the corner? Because that's one of the best points I've heard, that, yeah, Robert, the guys that he deals with is tough guys, man, that they're not afraid to get hit. And if they get hit, they ride it out. They fucking deal with it. They have recuperative powers. I don't know if that's AJ. But what Robert can add is the right variety of punches. All right? AJ went out there throwing straight shots. You throwing straight shots to a little guy that's going to slip all of that. He's going to slip all of it, get under it. You need to be close to him, all right? Robert can help you get there to where you know what to throw to get close to him. Because forget all that, I'm going to shoot the jab and be on that shit ain't going to work. All right, you tried that. You got to get on him now and get close to him and get inside.
I think he really needs to target Usyk's body this time around. He really needs to go to work on that body.
No, and like you said, Joe, I like Robert because Robert's gonna tell him straight up, like, look, puto, there's only one way to fucking beat this guy, and you know what the fuck it is. It's not this fencing shit. It's not the science. You got to hurt this man.
Yeah,
and I don't like when AJ. I don't like that. I don't like that AJ admitted I wasn't trying to hurt him the first fight. That's no, you can't do that, bro. You gotta want to fucking hurt this dude. This is heavyweight fucking boxing.
Listen, I would have preferred if it would have been like Rocky 3. You know, they take AJ to East LA to hang out with the homies. Comes back.
Yeah.
He goes back to the UK with a Raiders jersey, a little bit of an accent. Orale, way.
What do you think about? Is it a
but
good thing or bad thing?
There's something you guys are missing here is that Robert might not be leading the corner. It might be Angel Fernandez giving the instructions, and Robert just on the side giving his 2 cents.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because what AJ said was Angel is taking the lead. He's got the reins, and the thing about Robert was getting someone that Angel can work with, because they're the ones devising the strategy and giving that to AJ. So it's not like it's going to be Robert that has the reins in the corner saying, "Mírale, puto, this is what you got to fucking do." It's not. It's going to be Angel, and
that's weird, man. That's weird. I don't.
What do you
for
think
me,
about,
it's like if you hired Robert Garcia, that guy has made champions. Like, just have him in the corner. Just have him lead the corner. Fuck it.
And I don't like that. That reminds me of the recent situation with Berlanga in his last fight. He's got 3 fucking dudes talking to him in the fucking corner between the fucking rounds.
Espera un momento. ¿Tú sabes por qué tiene 3 gente? Porque no sabe cómo habla en español. The head trainer is de Puerto Rico. There's a fucking translator in the corner, bro. That's probably why he had 3 guys in the corner. He needs the head trainer to translate to the guy to speak it in English back to him. That's the fuck that shit is.
Well, no, he had Mickey
I was gonna ask,
too,
do you have like Angel Fernandez? Does anyone know like any other fighter that's been trained by him? I'm not even trying to like his credentials or anything.
No, I'm gonna say that Lennox knows who Angel has worked with. Lennox knows more about Angel than I do. You know what I mean? He does. To be honest, I knew he was there, but I don't know who else he works with. I don't know.
Does he work with Richard Reactor?
I think he does work with him. Yeah.
Okay.
He does work with Richard because I seen the picture.
Does I remember like in his commentary when he knocked out Turchi, they mentioned him being in his camp. I think under the commentators.
I mean, look, the main thing with AJ is chin tuck, catch and shoot, and crowd this guy, bro. This is not the fight where you need to overthink it. This is the fight where when you hear that opening bell, it needs to just be up here. Go
after this guy. Hit him whatever.
That's what makes. Yeah. That's what I think this is going to be fight of the year because of that. Because they both have the same psychology. Usyk knows that he can only beat him if he tries to knock him out, and Joshua knows that too. So it's like 2 samurais meeting in the middle of a fucking cornfield.
Bro,
yeah, Joshua's got to learn how to take lunch money, man. He's got.
I need to ask you guys. Me and my wife, we are at odds over this movie. I saw Prey. I saw it. I liked it. I did like it. But I don't think it holds a candle to my man Dutch. Go have me some fun.
Hell no.
See, now I gotta watch it. I haven't seen it, and I gotta watch it. I haven't seen it.
All right, Jules, I got to rewatch it actually 2 days ago, man. And look, I ain't gonna lie, man. Dude, the Predator was fucking retarded in this movie, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He did some of the stupidest shit. Like, I don't know, man. Like in the original Predator movie, like I like the aesthetics. Like, oh yeah, you can feel like he's hunting them skillfully. He's observing their movements. This Predator's dumbass, like fucking roided out, fucking Lou Ferrigno charging at them.
Yeah, like what I thought was weird. Look, what I thought was weird about the whole thing, right? Is that, and now I see why they said that the final fight scene seemed a bit contrived. It's like I could write a story where she kills him and where she fights him and kills him, right? But the way they did it, it's like I don't know about this. Like,
well, you know what gets me?
Predator lore, Jules, like we know that they don't get better until they die and learn from who they stalked. So it makes sense that he was stupid fighting them with primitive weapons. But the way they scripted the choreograph of it, like the brother said earlier, it did look just like contrived. But based on based on how predators work, they don't get better till decades and decades of hunting their prey.
All right, but let me counter that point by saying this. Okay, I kind of get the Predator in the beginning because it makes sense. He starts off killing a snake. He's trying to figure out what's the alpha. Okay, if he could punch a bear and kill a bear in like 2 punches, you telling me this teenage Last of the Mohicans is gonna fuck him up?
Well, bear doesn't have a big brain.
It's funny. Everybody calm the fuck down. Say it again.
Yeah, that's like the point of even the originals. Like Arnold's muscles didn't matter in the end. It was his brains that got him the dub.
Yep.
And
Yep.
to his point,
Yep.
yeah, Predators also
Back
learn
to
that
the
way too. They learn in the
chopper.
rematch.
And enough to
Listen,
retort your
Danny Glover.
retort.
Danny Glover was, and I personally, listen, you say what the fuck you want about me, but Danny Glover, when I watched that shit, bro, that shit was dope. He went to the shit. We fighting, bro. Took his
I mean, Jules, let me ask you this: what black person do you know would do something like that?
Danny motherfucking Glover.
Jules, if you're talking about the movie, as far as the movie goes, it's to me, I like there was enough camp to make it fun. So it was horror, thriller, and there was enough jokes.
I liked it. But see, to me, all right. I love the first one because of the nostalgia, and personally, for me, it's the best one. The best one, right?
Hands down.
I would put Prey in the top three. Top three. I cannot say that I had more fun with that than watching my man Danny talk to fake Rastaman in the alley.
Yeah.
They say you won't come talk to me.
Yeah, there was enough.
Well, you gotta
Spirits, man.
Spirit, well, man.
hear me out. Like Richard Murtaugh fucked that roll up. He killed it.
Listen,
well, you know, Jules, you said the top three, but okay, let's be honest. There's really only 3 Predator movies. There's Predator.
No.
Predator. I'm not counting the AVP movies. Fuck off.
No,
Those movies
no
were dog
AVP.
shit.
No AVP. There's Predators.
Okay, fine. Predators.
The Predator.
How was that? How was the Predator? I never saw it.
We don't count that movie. That movie's
I'm
not a
gonna
Predator.
be honest. I'm gonna be honest. If it's Sunday afternoon
shit.
and you just want something to watch and you will be entertained, you can watch it. But it's the weakest of them, though.
There
It
is
is
not
the
enough
weakest.
beer in the world for me to watch that and watch them disgrace the Predator franchise again.
I mean,
am I the only one that liked the Adrian Brody one?
No, I like the Adrian Brody one.
I love that one.
Yeah, I like that one. Was very good. It was like
but wait. If I'm being honest with you, right? That one for me is 4. Prey is better than that one. I would say, yeah.
I have a
Prey is
question.
better than that one.
What is the I have a question. What is the Predator when there were different factions of those?
That was Predators.
That was Predators.
That's Predators.
When they throw
when they were fighting the '84 Olympic team of assassins.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Jules. I think I like Predators more than Prey, mostly because, bro, that fight scene between the Berserker and the fucking Jungle Hunter was pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen. There was a scene like that in The Predator where there was like a giant.
Yeah, that shit looks stupid though.
And the shit was stupid. I liked the fighting of. I like when the brother came and he was fighting with the Predator. I would have extended that scene a little more if it was because it was a great scene, bro. It was just that shit was dope. He riding in the horse, man, and shit was dope. And I like that. I liked the backdrop of where Prey takes place because that's a cool story. I would have focused more on the hunter element of the natives to outwit him than just a full-on fist fight, because that's what they gave you, a full-on fist fight. What I was waiting for her to show was an homage to the original Predator, where she drapes herself in mud to lower her body temperature so he can't see her. And it's like I saw so many avenues that I would have taken with the writing that I'm like, it's good, but it could have been great. Like, it could have been great.
You know what I would say?
Yo, what did I miss? Is the Predator trying to help her?
Am I the only one that if they see it on TV, I'm gonna watch all of them now? I'm gonna try to fucking go to a marathon. If it's on, I'm watching it.
It's on marathon. Hulu, no, Hulu has all of them. Hulu has all of them.
They got them all.
All of them shit.
You ain't need no extended policy or none of just like basic.
Even the Predator. Even the Predator.
The first one, bro. Even that one.
You know why number 2 ranks high for me? Because I would let Maria Conchita Gonzalez grab my balls like that.
Listen. You had your man Bill Paxton.
Yeah, that's
you had Bill Paxton. Maria Conchita Alonso. Motherfucking Danny. I'm getting too old for this shit. You have Jamaican Ross. The characters in that film, like, yo, that he come from the spirit world, man. Can kill what can't be killed. I love that whole scene. He just ate Chinese food. And he took the bones and put them on the oil. It's always the same.
It had grit, bro.
Fucking voodoo magic man.
That fucking voodoo magic man.
It had a midnight.
Y'all know my favorite character was in the Predators. Adrian Brody, when like Lawrence Fishburne had me dying.
Oh, bro. You in my house,
motherfucker.
Now I don't
Yo,
talk
yo.
for everyone, but he don't like when you touch his shit.
Who's
Oh my
not?
God.
Who's not gonna let Maria Conchita Alonso grab their shit?
Nah, but they had like a thing with 80s horror movies where if there's a baby in any way, shape, or form involved, the villain will let them go. And they did that in that movie, that when the Predator saw that Maria Conchita Alonso was pregnant, he wouldn't kill her. And, you know, they kind of did that with Jason, that Jason doesn't kill kids.
That's like honorable somewhat.
Yeah,
in that same movie.
Y'all remember in the first one how like he was chasing after Dutch and the chick picked up the weapon and he kicked it out of her hands and he didn't.
But see, that made sense. It wasn't some I don't kill girls. It was more like, listen, don't pick that rifle up, because if you pick that rifle up, he's gonna view you as a threat. He doesn't view you as a threat because most of the movie her hands was tied, so she wasn't a threat to him.
Hey, Jules, I would also like to add in Predator 2, because you talk about the kid. Remember like the kid who had the fake gun and the Predator analyzed that? She's like, oh yeah, this ain't real, and he let him go.
Literally,
like, bro, he was ready. He was ready to kill him.
Bro,
Hey,
Gary Busey, bro.
Remember?
Hey,
Do you
what
want
about
some
Predator
candy?
versus Alien?
You want some candy?
You want some candy?
What about Predator versus Alien? Did you guys like that?
Look, let me tell you one thing, right? This is how hot I was for Sanaa Lathan, that I sat through that shit just because Sanaa Lathan was in it. Remember, Sanaa's in AVP. From Blade, his mom.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that was Sanaa Lathan, and I knew the movie was gonna be shit, but I'm like, bro, that's Sanaa Lathan. I gotta see this, bro. I was hot since Blade, bro.
You know what got me about
And they
that movie?
they were lazy with that, Jules, because at the end of Predator 2, you saw that you saw the skeletons of the alien in the Predator 2. So they could have did that shit way better.
I mean, like, I don't think, because Predator is a book, first and foremost. The Predator, that started out as a book. So I know that whatever they added in AVP, well, whatever they added in the second movie is not necessarily in keeping with the actual continuum of the character. Furthermore, which is why I just love this movie. He wasn't even gonna look like that. They freestyled that. The way he ended up looking. Remember, Van Damme was gonna be the Predator, and he was gonna be a lizard. He wasn't going to be a 10-foot tall, crab or whatever the fuck he was. That wasn't. They freestyle. I'm like, yo, this is how great 80s movies are, bro.
You know, they gave homage to that design in the Predators. Man, because that fast running alien, that was the original design for the OG Predator.
Bro, could you imagine Van Damme as a Predator? Hit the gun! No! And he does that fucking kick. I'm
not gonna lie, man. My favorite movie is this one. Mine's 2, man. The Predator in 2 was getting him, man. He was fucking everyone up.
Listen, man. I'll say that the smartest Predator, to be honest, that he ain't really take no L's, was the one in part 1. He killed everybody, bro, except for Dutch.
Even the squad before.
He killed, like, he was just out there just killing motherfuckers like it ain't shit. The 1 and 2, he seemed young to me because he made a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, he just did a lot of shit. Remember, he ran up on Danny. Danny hit the wall, turned around, hit him with the shotty. Wow! Wow! You standing there just letting yourself get shot. The smartest one, I would say, is the one from 1 and the ones from
I think so.
Predators.
I would say even though I don't fuck with the AVP movies, I think Requiem's that Predator, the one who was fucking up the xenomorphs, he was pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie. He was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, they learned the rematch. Like they're matchroom fights.
Which one was the one with Courtney B. Vance?
Predator.
The brother. Yeah, Predator. The brother where that little kid and the old soldiers got together.
Oh, that was Requiem. That was Requiem.
Predator What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Remember the old soldiers? They were in that bus. They were traveling in that bus.
Yeah, that was Aliens versus Predators.
Gary Busey's son was in it.
Oh, never mind.
Yo, I might have to watch that. It's probably on Hulu.
Yeah, it's the sequel to Aliens versus Predators.
Yeah, it's the Requiem. It's the one with the Pred Alien, the one with like the Predator Alien hybrid.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that shit.
It's pretty. Just have this in mind. It's dark as shit. You can't even see half of the movie.
I'm gonna fuck that shit. My eyes bad anyway. But that they've had so many Predators without the return of Dutch, that always bothered me.
I mean, there's a comic issue where like Dutch's
No,
brother's
I had
on the
that.
search for him.
I had that. I had like literally. I had those where they, they drew
Yeah,
Dutch.
I still got my comics, man. Those things are awesome.
Yeah, I had, but in film, in other words, it's like, dog. They brought Sarah Connor how many times for these Terminator movies? But y'all can't bring back Dutch and the Salvadorian joint.
Yeah, well, he's
You're saying the
Dude,
cold.
did you ever see Commando?
Years this happens.
Did you ever see Commando?
It's just called The Predator from 2018.
I didn't like that one. That was
he's too busy going back to shitty fucking Terminator.
And they talk about Dutch in that one, Jules. They allude to like the first Predator.
Well, they alluded to Dutch in Predator 2 because in Predator 2, remember the guy's like, oh yeah, this shit happened down south in the Guatemalans.
And that's how you knew that's how you knew that they were trying to connect that continuum, but skip AVP. Because if you listen in part 2, they mention part 1. And if you listen to The Predator, they mention part 1 also. So all of that is the same continuum minus AVP. That's just some other multiverse shit.
By the way, Jules, they do it in Predators too. They mentioned the first one as well. Remember the
with the giant fucking 20-foot predator that he's like fucking like that. He's too big, bro. Like, come on, like, what are y'all doing?
Doesn't Prey have the gun that the Predator gave Danny Glover, the fucking Rafael dos Anjos gun?
But that also tells you that they come back.
Oh yeah.
That means that they come back, because if she took that gun off the Frenchman, and then in the future the Predator has that gun, that means they come back. But what I would like for the next one is do it like a survival horror type thing, and stop with the fucking music. Like, I don't like. It's certain shit that kills me. Too much music in a scene that bakes my fucking noodle. Make it like Apocalypto, bro.
There should be music like in the original Predator. Only when he takes the mask off and the big reveal. That's when you should have the movie.
That scene, right? And it's not because I'm old. I know movies, bro. That scene when he took off that mask and they finally about to get it on, and that music's coming on, that shit was gone. Like, me, my sister, everybody watching that, she was like, "Yo, what the?" Yeah. It was like some real shit.
What did Arnold say?
Yeah.
One
what
ugly
the hell are you? You're one ugly
motherfucker.
Okay, I'll tell you what though, the ugly motherfucker in Predator 2 was better, because the Predator grabs Danny Glover's like, motherfucker.
Bro, that shit was dope. I really like that series. Like, I could wholeheartedly say that that's a franchise that I have enjoyed more than the Final Destination franchise, more than the Purge franchise, which they lost me with those last two. I like the first two, the first Purge and the second Purge, but the other shit is trash. And that last one, that shit was trash, bro. What the fuck was that bullshit, bro? The Forever Purge election year was.
What were your thoughts on the Alien?
Yeah, well, you know where they went with that. It had an angle.
Yeah, but I mean, I felt like they thought that I was stupid. Like, oh, so you're gonna use some Spanish folks so you can get my money, right? Because I'm fucking stupid. Like, oh my god, we're being represented. Oh my god. Nah, bro, I'm not stupid. Tell a good story, bro. See, one movie, and I'm gonna say this, right? One of my favorite movies when I was young that really taught me how to like movies, Shaka Zulu. The hero didn't look nothing like me, right? Obviously, right? But I knew he was the hero. I knew he was the pro tag. And I had like, yo, this dude going up against guns and shit with fucking sticks and fucking hay shields and shit. And I thought that was the coolest shit. Like, yo, how you gonna beat these dudes with these guns, B? That was they used to give that shit periodically when I was young on regular television. I was like, see, whoever wrote this script and put it all together, they did it in a way where anybody could watch and be like, yo, that's a bad motherfucker, man. That's a bad motherfucker.
Speaking of which, Jules, speaking of action hero archetypes, like, this is the question for Jules. Have you guys ever seen this movie called Nobody?
No, I didn't see. Oh, wait, you talking about the guy that he get pushed in?
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah. Good fucking film.
What about Brawl in Cell Block 99?
No, I ain't see that.
Did y'all know? Go ahead, real quick. Did y'all know that chewing tobacco makes you a sexual tyrannosaurus?
Sexual tyrannosaurus.
No, I didn't know that.
Strap this on your sore ass, Blaine. That was
I ain't got.
pussy.
Hey,
He said,
I,
no,
I
wait,
ain't
wait,
got
wait, wait. What he
time to
said?
bleed.
He said, guy goes up to his wife. She says, hey, like a little pussy. Like a little pussy. She said, me too. Mine's big as a house. I was like, yo, that's the dumbest joke I've heard, B. But for some reason, it was funny when I was a kid, man. Jessica Sala says, Jay, did you see? Yeah, I did see that. I seen that. And I seen that he said that there's going to be a Showtime blackout in what month did he say it was? I think he said it was September. He said Spence versus Crawford isn't happening this year. It's not happening. No $1 million fighters are going to fight. I forgot what month he said that. But we'll see if it checks out, bro. We'll see if it checks out. I don't know. I feel like because of what me and Drew often talk about, you have to have something to show these people next year, you know, to get a budget. You have to have something to show them. If all you did this year that moved the needle was Charlo versus Castaño 2, that's not a good look for next year, bro. You got to have something to show them that they'll be like, okay, let's spend this amount of money on boxing this year. And all you did that moved the needle this year was Charlo Castaño 2. Other than that, everything else was mid.
Hey, how did PBC get the exclusive with Showtime? I had been out of boxing for a while.
What do you mean exclusive? How?
Well, that they just work with Showtime just works with PBC.
I mean, I don't how they got in the Floyd Mayweather Jr. business. That's really where it started. They made him that huge guarantee. I think it was a $50 million guarantee or some crazy shit like that. Exclusivity deal, multi-fight deal. That's where it started.
Yeah, I didn't realize till lately
said,
that they just did PBC fights. You know, I was like, damn, that's all they do.
It goes back to what we've been saying, Drew. I could tell Espinosa is getting pressure from his bosses, because Showtime's parents' financials just came out a couple weeks ago. They got to justify, why are we spending money on boxing? What are we getting out of it?
And look at how many of their fighters, like what you have to ask yourself is, okay, so we know indefinitely Jermell only fights once all this year. Jermall, I don't even know if he's going to fight. Thurman, is he going to fight again? You know, Danny, is he going to fight again? So you're seeing, if you look, you can see the cuts. Gary Russell lost the fight this year. They don't get him back in the winner's bracket till next year?
Yeah, Julius, I have a question about
Ready
Showtime.
next year?
Showtime is a premier TV network, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Showtime have like HBO, like this other Netflix? Does it have other things to show that?
They're not a sports network, Leo. That's the crazy shit.
But they have another show like this popping now that is keeping it afloat.
They have other shit. Their other shit is where the bulk of their revenue stream comes from. You know, not far from the boxing. Like far. They got other shows and movie rights that they procure that keep people using it. And that's really where the bulk of their revenue as a premium cable network comes from.
Yeah, but I ask you like this. For example, Netflix has, I don't know, Stranger Things.
Oh, I see. Do they have a flagship show?
Yeah, HBO.
Power, I guess.
No, that starts. Showtime has The Shy. They have Dexter. They have Ray Donovan. They have Billions.
Yeah. They have.
They make more money from their scripted content, and that's the bulk of their subscriber base.
Yeah.
Like I always tell Jules, they have 22 plus million subscribers. Their boxing views are anywhere between 200,000 and 800,000. That's less than what 5% of their subscriber base. Their boxing content is not growing their subscribers. Period.
And the higher ups, and I want to put it this way. It's not that I want them to lose the deal. You see what I mean? Because the more boxing opportunity, the more platforms that are out there, the better that show boxing. So I'm not advocating that, you know, like, oh, we don't have no way to watch Boots, for example, or something like that. No, I'm saying the way things are going, it's very hard to imagine that on this trajectory they'll stay. Because I'm like, fam, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Some of these guys are only fighting once the whole year. Some of them aren't fighting at all. And those are the cuts.
If we go back, when did
Also,
that Fox deal
also, how
start,
long will
Jules?
this trajectory last, though? Because I mean, look at these guys: Broner, Thurman, Luis Ortiz. Who else? Motherfucking Abner Mares. These guys are all old news.
What was the
who the fuck do they have for the
real quick?
future?
What
Let
was
me
the
ask-
last year they got 60 million in budget, Jules? Was that the Wilder Brazil year?
Has to have been 2018.
And then you could tell ever since then the executives saw that there's no way they're getting 60 million. That budget has shrunk to maybe about 15 or 20, Jules. Have you seen $20 million worth of fights on Showtime?
No. Look at the fights that they've been putting on, and pay attention to the weight classes. They're now looking at the less expensive featherweights, right? You know, that they had the fucking Fernando Martinez versus Jerwin Ancajas, super flyweights. These are less expensive alternatives to, you know, those welterweights that always want $1 million every time they get out there. The welterweights that are getting out there, well, it's not Danny 3 times a year, right? It's not Thurman 3 times a year. No, it's the guys that don't cost a lot. You know, Boots.
I'll tell you what, though, Jules. Let's add on to them, man. And they also have to pick their fights because, again, if you pick another fighter like Broner, who's going to drop out, dude, you know they lost fucking money, man, because this is a really late dropout.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, I know that people are going to think that I'm saying what I'm saying to be progressive. I'm not saying what I'm saying. I know money, all right? Couple of girls that are out there. If you filled some of those slots with them, I promise you will make money. But you got to pay to play, all right? If you put, you know, Fernando Martinez is about to have a rematch. I don't even know why, because he beat the fuck out of the guy. He's about to have a rematch with Jerwin Ancajas, you know? You could decorate a card like that with a couple of girls. It's a cheaper alternative, right? But you'll get a quality product. Remember where you're doing these shows. This is the Barclays Center, right? There's not a lot of chivalrous guy. Women should not fight. They shouldn't be fighting. There's not a lot of people like that in the audience.
Hell, you know what? I've seen women. I've seen some women scrap a lot harder than men have, man.
That's what I'm saying. These are Brooklynites that's in the audience. So you show 2 girls in there getting down, and they really getting down. They could have a cult following that I swear to God they'll pull you out of this. But you got to invest. You see what I mean? You got to invest. You've been frittering away money on Broner fights and Figueroa and Thurman and these guys that their time is over, bro. The time for them, it's done. The most you can do with Thurman is feed him to Boots. That's what you can do with them.
This is the problem when you have a
Got a
TV
bot,
network,
Jules.
a TV network and a promotional company making this. When there is interested align, like I don't understand a TV network looks only for metrics.
Yeah.
I can say Keith Thurman have better metrics than Boots. I can say Adrian Broner have better metrics than Stanionis, but a promotional company has to say, okay, I feel you. The metrics are solid, but we have to groom the talent to show the people interesting fights to grow a round of boxing. But these guys, when I see Thurman, Garcia, and Adrian Broner getting these days, it's like the TV network is deciding all. They're only they only trying to achieve dates for fighters with better metrics. It doesn't go.
But look, you're right, and that's why they can't pull themselves out. See, Top Rank is an evolving monster. I'm going to give you an example. Today it was announced unofficially, but I saw it via the Jeff Jeffries, and shout out to Jeff Jeffries in Canada, boxing scribe. He announced, he tweeted about the deal that Top Rank just struck with Eye of the Tiger management. Now, why is that a great move? Because that's a whole stable of fighters that Top Rank doesn't have to pay for, but they get the content. They get the content. So when Mary Spencer in the fall goes in there and beats the shit out of a girl, now I get to watch it on ESPN Plus. And it's not even on Top Rank's dime. It's on the Casino Montreal's, well, whatever casino they're fighting up there in Canada. You know, in other words, it's somebody else paying for it. And it's just exposure. And you keep you keep the content evolving to where, yeah, you get Top Rank cards, but you also get Yvonne Michelle. You also get Eye of the Tiger management. You also get BT Sports stuff, you know, whenever you do pick up a card from them, you know, or Sky Sports stuff. See, they're smart over there. You see what I mean?
It's good business sense.
They used to be. So here's the thing. They used to be.
Yeah, even
smart.
like with the
Check this out. When Espinosa got hired at Showtime, it was in 2011. Do you guys know where the first Ronda Rousey Misha Tate fight was on in 2012?
Where?
It was on Showtime.
Oh.
They built women's MMA by highlighting Ronda, Gina Carano, and giving them a platform. And Espinosa was there. It's just like you said, Jules. He got 2 in bed with Al Heyman, and now whatever that contract is, similar to Top Rank at ESPN, Al Heyman got him by the balls to where, well, if you're going to do a deal with us in boxing content, you got to get X amount of percentage from me.
See, what I think they should do is this, right? And it's a long-term investment. You got a young fighter like Zarina McCoy. This girl is in her early 20s, right? Easy on the eyes, very good boxer, all right? So you have several angles where you can market this. That one, this is actually a capable fighter. Don't misunderstand. This is a capable fighter, but you can sell her. And you decorate undercards with her. It won't cost you anywhere near as much as what you're paying to do one Adrian Broner fight. All right. Now you can have 2 and 3 fighters like this, and the appeal is one. Yes, they're capable fighters that can put on entertaining fights, but for the dumb dullards, they're going to see a pretty face and they're going to gravitate towards that. So you get them both. You get the boxing fan and you get the dumb dullards. All right. And that would be a cost feasible way to fill out these cards instead of frittering away dollars trying to schedule fights for the Thurmans and Garcias. Like, bro, nobody wants to see them. You don't understand that? Nobody wants to see, unless they're going to be in a real high level situation. Nobody wants to see them.
Yeah, with this Eye of the Tiger deal, they now have like Makhmadov, and if you look at Top Rank's heavyweights, they control the future of the heavyweight division, which controls the rest of boxing. Like, it's actually pretty ingenious,
bro. It's what they've done is, and you know, I like the zone, I like Top Rank, so I love the moves. This move is dope as shit. Why? They have that stable now, and they can swap them. Like, if we want to bring one of them guys over here to fight this guy, we could do that. We could do that
with ease, and there's less politics involved.
No fuss, no muss. Like, look, whenever Mary Spencer fights, I know y'all not gonna be as familiar with her as I am. I understand it's not even a big deal. But what I'm saying is,
big fan.
I used to have to find a way to watch her fight. Now, Eye of the Tiger management manages Mary Spencer. Mary Spencer returns in the fall. I'm 100%. I'm gonna get to see that on ESPN Plus.
I'm so glad I got an ESPN Plus subscription.
It's beautiful. And Yvonne, now I wonder about the relationship with Yvonne Michelle, because there are certain gym cards that don't pop up, but I know that the relationship is intact because Marcus Brown versus Artur Beterbiev was in Canada, and that was an Yvonne Michelle promotion, but we got to see it by way of Top Rank.
And that's why I lean towards. The only reason I would want AJ to win from the business side, because there's no bullshit with Eddie and making the fights. Look, we'll give you a fair purse, cross the fucking street.
Hey, I got a quick question. Is Beterbiev going to end up fighting Yard?
Yeah, man, that's good as done, bro. Okay, that's as good as done, bro.
I wasn't sure if it was or not. I mean,
no, it is. It's for the fall, bro. It's for the fall. October, I believe, is the month, and it's as good as done, bro. It's as good as done.
It's done.
All right,
I mean, 2 weeks ago, hold on. 2 weeks ago, Frank was like, "It's as good as done," and it's as good as done. We know what situation B-Ball is in, right?
Right.
So I mean, what the fuck else is Artur going to be doing? Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. I just wanted to know which one of your UK contacts or YouTube channels will be arranging Yard's funeral in the fall. I was just very interested to know. I want to know which round they were gonna put on the tombstone that he died in.
Listen, bro.
And then
let me tell you one motherfucking thing.
The amount of blood that's gonna be packed into the what's it called, the coffin as well. Wondering who was gonna clean that out.
They ain't doing Anthony Yard. any fucking favors.
Nope.
Say that
Sure ain't.
shit.
I mean, if
Yeah, he
got
fights
knocked
like
out-
a bunch of bums, and then
if
one
he-
talented guy and loses
if
every
he got
single
knocked
like,
out
once
by
in a while.
Kovalev's jab, what is Beterbiev gonna do to him?
But
I mean, like,
He's
what
gonna
has
knock
he
him out
already
with a
done to
feint.
deserve another title
Okay.
shot?
but that's the right thing to do. Anthony Joshua doesn't have a high ceiling to keep grooming him into something that is never going to be. So feed him to a champion. Like
I mean, yeah, you're right, Leo. You are right. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna keep coddling this guy, give him applesauce. You gotta get rid of this guy, bro.
Baby
we gonna
cereal.
Yeah, like what are we gonna keep rice and milk? Like the fuck, it's time. It's go time, bro. You gotta get out there and die, bro.
Hey, Jules. All right, hey man, check it out. Tio, I think he needs to fight Barbosa next in December, man.
Yeah, Barboza makes the most sense because he needs to continue to get his.
You want
feet
him to
wet.
die?
Do you
No,
think
he
that-
can. Listen,
He can
listen,
win that
this,
fight.
and this is what I mean about how we get stuck in a moment as boxing fans. Seeing what I saw on Saturday, right? I can see him outpointing Barboza.
I don't know. It's like
I
Barboza's
don't-
really.
I can
fucking
see him
fast,
stopping
bro.
Barboza.
I don't disagree with anything. He's a superior athlete and has more advantages in the ring. I don't like that Joey Gamache has been out of the fold now. I do not like that at all.
But he did bring somebody on. I forgot the name of the
I know,
guy.
but he's not Joey. He's
Jorge
not Joey.
Rubio.
He's
Jorge
not Joey.
Rubio.
And like you said, Joe, I just don't like how he reacts when he gets hit at
Well,
all.
dude, to
That's
be
it.
honest,
Those are my only concerns.
if he tries that cross guard stuff, man, I mean, I don't know.
Let's say this also. Let's say this also. Being fair, I'm not saying this to be nice to him so much as I'm wrapping my mind around what I saw. That kid went through a lot. So when he gets in there, them demons, that monkey's still on his back. He needed that fight to get that monkey off his back. They're like, yo, I'm unsure of myself. I got beat by fucking George Cambosos. I need to get out here and get this off my back. He did that. So when he gets back out there, he has the confidence to say that, look, I'm a good fighter. That shit with George was a fluke.
But
I'm
you
a
know
good
what?
fighter.
If he gets
So
in
what
there-
people
my
are saying about Barbosa,
if-
what did
if
they
he-
see that Barbosa did so well? I mean, I
Well,
see
he has no.
Castillo.
I mean, look, Barboza is not. What I see in Barboza is not skill. It's his physical dimensions. He's tall for a super lightweight. He's
Mhm.
about 5'9", 5'10". That's tall for a super lightweight, for a 140-pound fighter. Good power, not great, but good. And remember, we are talking about a 135-pound fighter moving up to 140. His second fight is against a full-fledged 140-pound guy, decent power, good size. Tio, better boxer.
When you watch
also have
Barbosa
to
Frank,
versus,
like, here's the thing.
well,
Here's the
but
thing.
when you
terms-
watch
hold on,
Barbosa
in
versus
terms-
Castillo, what was it? What was the dude? Barbosa versus the last guy he fought. I seen him try to wing punches. You know, he was trying to get that guy out of there, but he was getting clipped with some good shots.
Bro, but that guy was a 140-pound fighter.
And pretty hard punching 100.
No, what I'm saying, I don't
I
see
think what
Barbosa
people-
being able to do that. I just don't see anything special.
I mean,
Barbosa, I understand the weight.
do you see
What,
Barbosa
I think what
putting in a better
why people
effort
bring up
than-
Barbosa. I'm just gonna say just real quick why people bring up Barbosa is because they have a common opponent, William Silva. He knocked him out in 5 rounds, and Teofimo knocked him out in 6 rounds. But the difference is that Teofimo fought William Silva in his 10th fight. Barbosa fought him in his 23rd fight, like a couple years back.
That's a good listen. I like the Barboza fight, and I'm not like look, we had our fun with the Triller debacle. You know, we had our fun, but he does make that division interesting. He does.
Can I
He
say
does.
Absolutely. And go ahead.
The thing is that bugged me about Tio. I mean, I know it's his comeback fight. I know he's rusty. He needs to do that. But the way he backed into the corner and backed himself into the ropes, if he does that with some killers, he's in trouble.
You're right. I agree with that. That you can't let the guy put you in the corner, even if you're trying to set a trap. You can't just let the guy walk you over to the corner like that, because some of these guys are gonna fucking tear you up in that corner. So I do agree with that. But also, I'm mindful that we have to be mindful that was his first fight at 140. He was
Right.
rebounding off a loss, and he was
Right.
trying to get that monkey off his back. So it's not going to be a picture punch perfect
No,
performance.
You're right.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
so
don't walk
you're
on
right.
water.
You're right,
This.
Jules.
Let
But
me
I
ask
can
you
go.
this,
Go
though.
ahead. Go
Do
ahead.
you think that he'll get rattled again like that?
Yes.
Yes.
But can I say this also? Teofimo, even though I don't like how he reacts to punches, he doesn't seem frail either. When
No.
Devin gets hit, I worry about him like, yo, he don't look right, like he about to go out. Whereas when Teo get hit, it's not that it looks like he about to go out, it's that I know he just saw that white light. You ever seen that you get hit and you see the white light?
Yep.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Jules. Like I went back and watched the Loma fight, and you're right. Had Loma turned it on 2-3 rounds earlier, he stops Teo.
Yeah, I agree with
The,
that.
Na-
Yeah.
the Nakatani fight, he's like, I'm never fighting a taller guy again. He didn't like the getting hit. The Kambosos fight, this fight, great talent, blue chip talent. When there's real attrition in the fight, he's not afraid of it. It's just how he reacts. Like,
Oh, wait,
the
yo.
white light.
But this is where we differ. I know you're thinking about pro-grade fights and just fights with monsters. And I'm thinking about the here and now. They're like, nah, he not gonna fight none of them yet. I'm thinking about what's gonna be in front of him more recently. To look, in all likelihood, he's gonna fight Barboza. Can he handle that? Yeah, I think he can handle that. I think he can handle that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I'm not saying that he can't handle it, but I don't know. Like there's a trend of the fighters that as AJ just talked about. What's it called? Nakatani, a very long, rangy fighter. Kambosos is kind of the same thing where it's a bit more back foot. And Loma, like even though he's not, you could say a back foot fighter or like a kind of a rangy fighter, he still has that boxing acumen to him. And that's again going to be kind of what he's going to be fighting against Barboza, except he's going to punch harder. He's going to be bigger. And it's possible that he's going to be more durable. Like I've seen Barboza get shook by shots before, but they were from 40 pounders, not from Teo. So for all I know, he goes in there and he has to deal with the same distance issues that he's had to deal with his other fights, except the difference is it's going to be someone much bigger.
Let's say this though. You're talking about a fighter in Teo that will feel invigorated, reinvigorated, not having to cut the 5. He won't be sluggish. He'll be sharp. I believe he'll be sharper. And there's gonna be scary moments because Teo is not that fighter, at least not for me. He's not that fighter that's gonna be a 3-4 division champion. He's not that. So let's just can that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Right?
But in terms of like
he could be a 2 division.
Sure. Like against like O'Hara Davis or whoever the fuck has the WBA, but I don't know if it's gonna be against like if you asking me, okay, does he beat Josh Taylor for the WBO? Nah, honestly, if Josh Taylor would have vacated it.
Now listen, wait, let me paint it for you, bro. Let me paint it for you. Remember, right? Josh Taylor ain't next, right?
Okay.
And Josh Taylor, the dude that might be struggling to make 40, whereas Teo is not struggling to make 40. So that evens the playing field. They're like, yo, you in your early 30s. I'm 20 something. You struggling to make this weight. I'm not. I think it's a great fight, but I have a different view of that fight now based on the lay of the land. Before I would have told you this kid would get the shit beat out of him by Taylor, but Taylor looked human, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, but against a 40-pounder who doesn't fight like Teo in like any way. That's what I mean. It's like his style alone. It's like
I think Catterall has some similarities.
No. I'm with Julio on this. There are similarities. The counterpunching, obviously, Catterall is a southpaw, so that's the most glaring disparity. But he's a counterpuncher, bro.
Yeah, but I feel like most of his punches are like straight punches. Like a lot of straight lefts were it was hitting Jack Catterall. It wasn't like looping left hooks and explosive like right hands and stuff, which is what Teo's mainly known for. So I don't know if that style is really suited to a division like 140. Like what he did against Campa is closer to what I'd say he should probably be doing. But it's even that. It's like I don't know if you get some of those shots off against
because you thinking about the beasts, bro. You thinking about the Matias. You thinking about the Prograis. You thinking about the fucking.
Bro, I'm thinking about Jeremiah Ponce, bro. I'm not even thinking about that.
Bro, Ponce is not gonna fight him, bro. Ponce is as good to me. Ponce is a PBC fighter, bro.
Oh yeah, he is Chino Maidana fighter.
So So that's not gonna happen.
One thing I'd like to see with Tio is how he takes a punch at 140. When he got
Yeah,
caught
that's it too.
when he got caught by Kambosos, he got caught coming forward. He was timed and he didn't see it coming. Like, I don't see anybody else getting one over on him for a while, but I do want to see what he does when he takes a good punch.
Well, I think he took
remember that
he
with
took
George,
one
he
from
felt like a
Comey.
jackass, though. So I mean, if he goes out there fighting like a fucking jackass, then yeah, we're gonna see that.
Yep.
But if he goes out there fighting like a madman looking for a knockout, then yeah.
But Tio he remind me of, well, there was a guy named Juanma Lopez, and you could see the effects
I
after
remember
he lost, and Tio didn't really show those kind of effects. You know, and Juanma actually came back and won a title. So I mean, it can be done.
I'm just saying that because of the lay of the land and everything that has happened in recent memory, and the fact that the current crop of, there's some unbeaten up and comers, yes, but the guys that most people are talking about, these are guys in their 30s, bro. Progray's in his mid 30s, bro.
Yeah, can I add something?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I was just approaching to that point that you made. Taylor and Prograis have 6 and 8 years on Tio, respectively. So it's really not out of the realm of possibility for him to get, for Tio, who's, by the way, he's younger than Gary Antoine, and they have pretty much the same number of fights. And you look at Teofimo's resume in comparison, like, it's really not out of the realm of possibility that a couple more fights from now he might be able to beat those guys.
I agree. The thing is, what has to hold up, he can't win these fights through strength of arms. That's what I took away from the Campas fight, that he can't win those fights through strength of arms. It's got to be his boxing. His accuracy and his placement is what beat Campas, not raw power, because Campas was taking them fucking shots for the first 3-4 rounds. He was cool. Shit wasn't bothering him.
We might start seeing a lot of points wins for Tio with this weight class.
I mean, it all depends on who they put him in there with too, because
yeah,
you know,
like against who?
Like, look, Chong. I like Chong, right? But and I maintained this throughout. We don't know where Chong is. Why?
We still don't.
The Vargas fight only lasted 1 round, bro. He could very well be a shot fighter, but we didn't get the chance to see it. He looked like a shot fighter with Hank Lundy. He looked shot. He looked slow. He didn't look right.
Jules, with Prograis, we about to find out. That's for sure.
I think Prograis gonna win that fight.
Okay,
So do I.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Prograis.
Everyone here agrees.
Who's fighting Prograis?
Zapata.
Yeah, for the vacant
Oh,
belt.
okay.
I think everyone here agrees that Teofimo Lopez has a higher ceiling than any of these other guys that they are on their mid-30s.
I don't know that he has a higher ceiling than Prograis. I'm gonna say it.
Say that again.
Okay. Let me tell you one thing. Wait. Let me tell you one thing. Wait. Let me say this, and I'm gonna pass it back to Leo. Nobody say nothing. All right. Now, Prograis and Lopez's style is actually very similar. The difference is that Prograis is a southpaw and his punches flow more. Tio's punches are very tense. He shoots them shits. Prograis punches just flow. It's smooth. It's like Hennessy. It's smooth. But their style is similar. Prograis's not a volume guy. He's a counterpuncher. So's Tio. His best punches are his looping shots. So are Tio's.
I'm talking about the fact that he's younger. He has to grow. He has to improve. What worries me about Teofimo Lopez is his stability. Because the things that put you in a bad mental state, they're still there. Your circle of that fucking guy.
Oh my god!
That fucking guy.
I fucking hated that moment so much. I got so angry.
Bro,
he just couldn't help himself. He really couldn't help himself. He couldn't help himself.
I can't believe he did that, yo.
Yo, that shit was like a cartoon where he literally got in front of his son. Like, he literally jumped right in front of him to get in front of the camera.
I said it yesterday that if you was ringside, right, you know that there's a man with a big old camera standing there, and so does Lopez Sr. So you literally did that so you could be in the shot to eclipse your son. That's crazy.
Sad. That's sad, man.
That's crazier than giving him a Bud Light sponsorship.
I put up a Twitter post that said, like, he's like that random guy at the party you don't know that keeps jumping in front of everybody's photos.
That's
Real
the crazy
shit.
thing.
Yeah, he's wearing a
who's
lampshade over his head.
Who's this old dude jumping? Who uninvited this guy?
Bro, but look at him. He happier about the shit than Tio.
Yeah, like he won the
Tio
damn
crying
fight.
and shit.
Yeah, like he won the damn fight, not Tio.
Right.
They should have gave his father the Bud Light sponsorship. Cambosos! Bud Light!
He already had one.
It looks
Oh,
like
that's
fucking
crazy.
That's why I got him as my profile picture. I'm keeping that shit up for a while.
That's crazy. Look, in other words, let's say this. There was a time when I would have been with everybody that questions Teofimo's chances at 140 pounds because there are questions, right? There are. Like, there's no doubt about that. But it all depends on the fight. Now, if you're thinking about Prograis inside of 12 months, yeah, that's not good. Not inside of 12 months. No. Or depending on how Taylor looks coming out of this Catterall fight. That, yeah, there's monsters, but he not even going to fight all the monsters, bro. Think about that. Remember, Devin ain't got but, maybe 1 or 2 fights left at 135. Who knows if he going to fight Loma? What if after he beat George, he say, man, fuck this shit and I'm out? It ain't going to be about Lopez versus all these other guys. It's going to be about Lopez versus Haney.
Dude, this guy's starting to make Angel Garcia look tame.
Bro, he Angel Garcia
really
on cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl.
And steroids.
What's it called, Jules? Honestly, for a while, I kind of thought this for a minute. I said, damn, all these promoters were kind of scared to put their fighters against each other at 35. But going up to 40, if I was a promoter and I was going to be as selfish as them anyway, I'm thinking, damn, I'm not going to put my guys up against any of these 40-pounders. Hell no.
Got nowhere to hide.
Well,
it's like maybe make it against maybe they might actually make it against each other now. Like you don't see those fights more. Come on.
This what's going to happen, bro. The good news is we are going to get good fights. The bad news is they are going to stay separate because both Top Rank and PBC have a good stable at 140. Gary Antoine Russell, Subriel Matias, Jeremiah Ponce. You could do good little fights between them 3 guys, right? And we know Top Rank has a good situation. They got access to Jack Catterall, even though he ain't a top. They got access to that motherfucker. What the fuck he doing? Nothing. They got Chung. They got Jose Zapata, Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor, fucking Teofimo. They got
Pedraza.
Exactly. So, well, the winner of Pedraza versus Comey, let's say, because they about to fight late in a few weeks, and even though they not gonna get together and let our powers combine, we all still gonna get good fights.
No, I mean like when I say like people fighting together, I mean like the guys literally coming up from lightweight, not anybody from 40.
See, what I think saves Devin though is he is still very young. So hopefully this weight is not going to, this weight cutting is not going to hurt him when he moves up to 140. He's got a strength of his name being undisputed champion, and his relationship with Matchroom and ESPN now is going to help him get fights in the future.
But he might have some problems with some people at 140 though, man.
Oh, of course.
I actually think Devin will have more power at 140 than 135 because
he'll have more power, but he'll have. I believe. See, this is what I think. I agree with you. He'll have more power, but he will have to throw more to keep the guys off because one at a time may not be enough to keep the guys off. So you're going to have to double up on that jab or follow up with a lot of right hands. You can't just jab and jab and jab and jab and jab and jab all day.
I would hope that he has more energy with the weight instead of being a little sluggish because of his height. Like, you know what I mean?
Hopefully he'll be re-energized and reinvigorated up there because, like I said, I've maintained that the reason I think he doesn't take a punch good is because it's time to move up. Time to move up, bro. Now, on that note, gentlemen, I'm old. I'm getting a cramp. It's time to go to sleep.
Wait, Jules, before you go, can you put Violet back up? I need something to think about.
All right, hold on, wait.
Have a good night, fellas.
Oh,
thank you.
Hey, Jules, thanks for having me on, brother.
No problem. See you later.
Have a good night. Night.